Hello, hello, everyone. So we are here for October readings. Usually I do a whole bunch of separate videos for each sign. This week and what I've got going on, it was just easier for me to do one huge video for all the signs. So there will be timestamps in the comments afterwards. You can go and check them out and fast forward to whatever sign you need to watch for yourself or cross watch for someone else. Take the messages how they resonate for you. Don't force them to fit. I might talk about he and she in regards to, the different genders on the cards, but, I always view them as masculine and feminine dominating energies. So don't get hung up on genders. Okay. Just take it how it makes sense for you. Quick thank you to all of our members who continue to allow this channel to be ad-free. I am not forced to be demonetized from YouTube. I just choose to be demonetized and keep the messages ad-free so that there's no interruptions and you guys can just get nice, clear messages coming through. So thank you to all of our Pineapple patrons, our newest one being Mary Rose. Thank you so much. And all of our divine rebels. So with that, we are going to get right into these messages. Please keep in mind, I always care a little bit more about your healings than your feelings. I say things that need to be said. Okay, I'm not one of those readers that will just tell you what you want to hear so that you subscribe and like and come back. Okay, I care more about your long-term spiritual and psychological health and well-being than I do if you like me right now. Okay, so with that said, the bonus messages for signs that had most views, most comments, and most likes, they will have separate videos as bonuses for their signs. Gemini got most views and most likes, so Gemini will have an extra special bonus message. And Pisces got most comments, so my Sag gang got their asses whooped. They got their asses whooped. So leave me a comment, about what your sign is and why you should have a bonus reading in December, which is what October's video is going to do, right? This October video. So definitely leave me a comment and let me know what's your sign or your big three or who you cross watch for, and let me know that, you want a bonus reading in December. Since we're doing it just a little bit different this month. I will also have a separate video for Ophiuchus guidance readings. Okay, I will do it in typical Ophiuchus style where I pull cardinal, fixed, and mutable energy, and then fire, earth, air, and water energy, and do all the different combinations for you guys so you can get guidance throughout the month of October. If you are a Divine Rebel Diamond member or a Pineapple Patron, you already have your October readings up. So make sure if you haven't checked them out already that you do. Okay, no matter what level or tier membership you are, you always have access to the monthly zodiacs that I do just for members. Those will be members. So keep that in mind. You will not be seeing monthly readings public here on the channel. They will be for members only. I will be doing other messages as I'm guided for the public. Okay, so definitely check out the description. The links and everything you need are in there. So whatever information you need is also in there. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start with Aries at 4 minutes, 4 seconds. All right, Aries. So this is Arian energy. Okay. Arian energy for the month of October. I am using my Garbage Pail Kids tarot. Okay, let me force my camera to do its job and focus. Hey Rita, hey Kathy, how you doing? So I'm using the Garbage Pails Kids Tarot. Just keep in mind, guys, the images are gross. The images are gross. All right, but they're fun, and I thought it was fitting for October that Spirit would guide me to it. So let's just retime stamp Aries real quick. We're gonna start at 4:54. All right, Aries. So what is going on, Spirit, please, with Aries, Arian energy, the house in which Aries rules for you for October? If you're catching this message in divine time, it's most likely significant in the spiral of things to whenever it is you're guided to watch it. I'm doing good. I took off of work today. I was just like, you know what? I just need a me day, and apparently 10 hours of sleep. So, Aries, you might find yourself in that energy, just needing a you day, just catering to your own like mental health, right? Just taking a break from things. So let's see. I wouldn't be surprised with North Node and Chiron and all that wonderful stuff that's in your sign. So let's see what is going on with Aries this month. I know, I was excited. Drove my son to school, came back home, had a cup of coffee, which knocked me right out. Definitely did. Let's see. All right, so we're starting out with the Six of Cups. What else? We've got the Knight of Swords. The Five of Wands. And the Three of Wands. Mind you, we have eclipses this month. If you have not got a moon event reading yet, you might want to. I believe the October 14th event's already sold out, so you'd have to catch it for the next one. Let's see. Good for you, Rita. All right. Clarities. This is interesting. All right, Aries. We've got the Five of Cups with the Star card under that, and the Hierophant under that. Eight of Coins is under that. So listen, we have these on the bottom and the top of the deck. We got the 10 of Coins on top. Let me hold these cards up for you. Okay, so 10 of Coins is on top, then the Five of Cups with the Star and the Hierophant. So overall energy for the month, Aries, especially because that Five of Cups, I think, the chance to move forward is slowly closing off, because the bridge on the Five of Cups is cracking and you're walking across it with 2 cups while the other 3 cups are just floating away downriver. And I think that's healing for you with the Star card, and it's a big commitment that you're making, probably because you've gone through a serious Chiron lesson. A new home may also be in store. We have an exceptionally older person with 2 younger kids on here, so you may be connecting with, if you have kids, you might be connecting with their grandparents or something like that, but it's a healthier living situation. That's the way I'm reading it. Yeah, you can definitely see with that Five of Cups here, the bridge has cracks. The third party energy is floating downstream, and you are like super excited and happy walking across that bridge with your 2 of Cups. And I think you're kind of just leaking self-love, okay, with that Star card. Major healing. I think you've gone through a major Chiron lesson, which obviously does not surprise me, right? Because, like I said, Chiron's in your sign with North Node. So, it definitely makes sense for your house, your sign. The rest of the month, at the beginning of the month, we have the Six of Cups with the Page of Cups. So I definitely feel like you're reconnecting with a sacred soulmate. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could definitely be an older person, like a parent or a grandparent, you know, old soul in general. Okay, despite their number of years. And I believe there's some kind of reconciliation going on with the Page of Cups, or some kind of compassion and mercy being expressed, where you're talking to someone and they're realizing the energy that you're in, right? And kind of getting you out of the fishbowl. All right. They're getting you out of the fishbowl that you may have found yourself in. All right. We then also have that develops into the Knight of Swords and the Five of Coins. So whatever you're communicating or whatever you're leaving behind, there's definitely going to be some feelings of abandonment, right? Someone might definitely be making you feel guilty or making you feel bad for the choice that you're making. This is definitely a communication that you're leaving a certain situation that has obviously grown cold for you. It's probably got you heated in some which way, shape, or form as well, to be completely honest, because that Knight of Swords is definitely pissed. So the communications might be definitely be coming through because there was some kind of animosity, or, you know, off with their head kind of energy, especially because the Knight of Swords, there's like this little floating head down here. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. There's like this little floating head down there. It's like you've definitely humbled somebody, right? And mind you, this could be reversed. You know, this could be happening too in Aries, so, or Aries energy in some which way, shape, or form. So if you're cross watching, so I might be talking to you, so just take it how it resonates. But there's definitely reconnecting with someone who is there for you in this life to help you through your harder decisions or your quote unquote mistakes or detours, right? If you detoured yourself in a certain direction with someone or something, you definitely have a sacred soulmate coming through that is helping you out of that situation and getting you back on track. Is definitely leaving someone else wounded. I don't think they saw it coming, especially because there's an eyeball hanging out on the ground down here in the Five of Coins. That's clarifying that Knight of Swords. There's like a little eyeball floating down there right near the little crutch of the smaller figure on the ground. He's lost an eye. So I definitely definitely feel like someone did not see it coming. They might feel like they've lost a part of themselves, because there's also a piece of the character here, like hanging out on the ground as well. Like he's lost a chunk of himself. So you might be dealing with that too. Someone's not going to be happy about your self-love or your healing. That's for sure. If you've learned a Chiron lesson, whoever got you hooked in that is going to be upset that you're leaving. I said, or vice versa, however it resonates. As the month continues, we do have the Five of Wands with the Magician in reverse. So you may be dealing with someone who has very significant Gemini and or Virgo energy that's really conflicted and upset, and their pain might be coming through trying to manipulate you back into the situation. So you might be dealing with that. Someone playing on your heartstrings, someone trying to talk some quote unquote sense into you. Definitely someone who is manipulative. So they don't have to be a Gemini per se, but they could have stronger significant Gemini in their chart, right? Or Virgo. It could be Virgo energy as well, right? They could have squares between those two houses, to be fair. So whoever this is, yeah, they probably feel scarred by it. And I feel like they're throwing a tantrum. I feel like someone's throwing a tantrum. Like they're throwing everything they can at you to try and get you back into the situation, because they mentally can't let it go. and they're angry, but I think that it might be that kind of anger and manipulation, which is why you chose to move forward with it in the first place. And I feel like whatever transpires, the Three of Wands with the Seven of Cups that ends the month, I think it's leaving someone with in a confused state, like they don't know where to go, like their mind has literally been blown and they don't know what to do. I mean, especially look at that Three of Wands. I mean, it's literally his head's exploding. And he's confused, right? The character is confused. They do not know what to do or where to go. They might definitely be indulging in some kind of escapism as well with the Seven of Cups. It can definitely be an indulgence or some kind of debauch energy, right? And the train's going off in the background, which is 100% divine confirmation for me. So, Aries, I definitely feel like whoever you're dealing with, I feel like you're moving forward. I think you are making the right decision moving forward. All right, with the Five of Cups and the energies under that transpired, I think you are very well aware of the fact that it's going to take some work on your behalf to make things right wherever you're going, to keep things right wherever you're going. But that definitely making the right decision. And I feel like whoever you're moving towards, I think they're just really, really happy to have you or whatever this children energy is back in their life. 100%, because that old geezer right there has a really clear smile on his face and his mind is blowing up with coins, right? And the kids are blowing up with coins. I feel like it's just an overall abundant energy, very stable energy. So whatever you're moving towards, I think you're making the right decision for yourself. It's just definitely going to be like an exit that goes out with a bang, right? You're not just exiting quietly. I think it's going to be a bang kind of an exit. So whatever you're dealing with this month, Aries, I feel like you are definitely making the right decision moving forward, and leaving some third party energy behind, for sure. And they're not going to like it. Okay, they're not going to like it. Okay. So that's Aries. I'm going to move forward now into Taurian energy. So Taurus, let's timestamp you here. All right. Taurus, 1735. Ooh, that's double eights. That's double eights. So Taurus, you still have Jupiter and Uranus in your sign. And Venus and Juno are slowly moving out of square with Uranus in there. But the sun is definitely moving into like a quincunx kind of energy with Jupiter, at least at the beginning of the month, right? Which is a wild card. It could be wildly in your favor or wildly unexpected, right? It can kind of feel like a tower moment. So we're gonna see how that looks for you. Especially because you have like the south node kind of moving into that same quincunx energy with Uranus. South node's like a Mr. Clean magic eraser for misalignment, right? It just kind of gets the stain out. So let's see what is going on, Spirit, please, with Taurus, Taurian energies, the house in which Taurus rules for you this month. Okay. I think I put that back in my deck upright. So we got the Magician reverse, and then we have the Sun card. I always keep my cards in my deck upright. So if they come out in reverse, I tend to leave them that way and read them that way. What's going on with Taurus? It definitely feels like Uranus. All right, clarities, please. Temperance came out, clarifying the Magician reversed. It's also in reverse. Clarify the Sun for me. Two of Cups. All right, clarify the Ten of Swords. The King of Coin. And clarify the Star card. Okay, top and bottom of the deck. Ooh. We have the Emperor on top with the Fool on bottom. The Knight of Wands is under that, and the King of Wands is under that. So this is what your top and bottom look like. Hey, Lorraine, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Enjoying a day off work today. Yes, we got the Emperor on top, the Fool, the Knight, and the King of Wands. So Taurus says definitely Aryan energy with the Emperor, and the Fool is Uranus. So also potentially Aryan energy. And we got a lot of fire here with the Wands. I feel as though you've gone through some kind of awakening moment. Like the straw that broke the bull's back. And you just kind of snapped. Back into like a different reality. It's almost like you've been in the same situation for however long. And then all of a sudden something goes off and you're seeing the whole situation differently. And once you see it that way, you can't unsee it. And you're like, I feel like you're taking a huge leap. Definitely, and you're choosing high willpower, determined energy because of it. It's almost like you realize that you've been put in a situation where the mice are just feeding off of you and making a mess of you. You know what I mean? Like you're just essentially being shit on, you know? Like Taurean energy might really feel like they've been carrying so much weight and being strong through it, only to realize it's fucking bullshit that they're carrying all this weight. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? Yes, ma'am, all is well. Yeah, I feel like, I'm glad you popped in, Lorraine. I know time zones. Yeah, with the Magician and Temperance both in reverse at the beginning of the month, Taurus. That is definitely the Gemini Sag polarity. And even though there's nothing outside of regular lunar placements every month in your sign, in these signs, I feel like you're dealing with that kind of polarity potentially in your own chart, or the synastry between you and another, where the Gemini and Sag polarity is really significant. With these two cards being in reverse, I mean, it could definitely be Virgo Sag too, and that's a square, right? Virgo and Sag are both mutable, and that's a square. You might be having serious mutable challenges this month, especially because, you know, Pisces, which is the other mutable sign, has Saturn and Neptune in there. Saturn goes direct this month. Saturn goes direct this month. And so I feel like whatever or whoever you're dealing with, it feels to me like you are very well aware of the fact that someone's energy, and I feel like it's definitely someone in particular, okay? That someone's energy in particular is really putting you off. Like, you know that being around them is throwing your energy through the loop, you know, like who they are and how they do things or how they communicate things or whatever their expectations are or how they talk to you or treat you. It's like realizing that you're better off when you're not around them. Like, you feel more yourself, or you feel more at peace, or you feel less chaotic when they are not around. It's like as soon as your energy is not around them, you feel better. And it's like, you just needed to get the fuck away from them, right? Like, whoever that is. And then I feel, you know, with that realization, with the Sun card and the Two of Cups coming in after that, I think this is you choosing an inner union type of energy where your own masculine and feminine energies are kind of merging, as you can see right there with the Two of Cups. It's the minor arcana of the Lover's card, right? Especially with that little lovely figure. What is that? It's got like a lion. It's interesting. It's got almost like a lion's face with wings. And I find that interesting because it's the Sun card. So you might have that Leo energy really coming through for you, and or your sun sign is really shining, right? Being a Taurus sun in particular, if you're a Taurus sun, but whatever sun sign you are, you know what I mean? Your light, regardless, because you could be a Taurus moon watching this, Taurus Venus watching this, but I feel like, or a cross watcher, but I feel like whatever your sun sign is, I think you're really integrating the light and shadow of your sign. And once that kind of integration, that alchemical process takes place, which I do believe the moon, the new moon on the 14th, I think I literally titled it Alchemical Harmony. That's the theme. I think that's the solar eclipse. I definitely feel like you're unifying. I definitely feel like you're unifying, so much so. And that's like around the second week of the month. Once we get into the third week, we have the 10 of Swords with the King of Coin. But the 10 of Swords, the figure is smiling, and it's almost like it looks kind of like a plush dummy. And it's unaffected by the swords. Like, sticks and stones can break my bones, but your words will never hurt me, kind of thing. And the King of Coins literally has a coin that says, united we stand, divided we fart. So I feel like because you're in such a state of inner union, nothing that anybody says or does is phasing you. Like, they can be whatever they want to be. They could be some, you know, farty little leprechaun gnome, you know, smoking their own chiba, you know, their own crap, right? Believing their own shit and doing what they can to cut you down. And I think it's just, I don't think it's working. Yeah, I don't think it's working. I think that, thanks, Kristen, for confirming that for me. I thought so. Yeah, the Ten of Swords with the King of Coins. I think you're in your abundance. I think you're in your high manifestation. I think if you were fed up with somebody at the beginning of the month, something in you snapped and you found a state of inner union that they can't break now. It doesn't matter what they say. It's almost like it's falling on deaf ears. Like I feel like unfazed through the roof. And then we get the star card, right? End of the month, we get the star card. That's definitely Uranian energy, Aquarian energy. And it came out clarified with the Page of Cups and the Two of Swords. I think you're definitely leaving a situation, and I think you're dang happy about it. I think you're cutting cords with that Two of Swords. I think you're cutting cords. I think you're jumping out the fishbowl, right? You can see the fish flying out of the fishbowl and into the cup, right? This love cup. And there's major, major healing going on with the star cards. So, yeah. And I think that that's interesting because these energies, right, where the eclipses are, with the nodes, they're right on that kind of cusp energy between, you know, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aries, Libra. It's the very beginning of it all. Like this is the first eclipse, the first solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, right? In the sign of Aries, Libra, right? That dichotomy with those nodes. It's the first one, right? The Taurian eclipse later in the month is the last lunar eclipse that we're going to get in Taurus. And so I feel like whatever is going on with you this month, I feel like you're closing a major cycle for yourself, coming into a major healing from it all, right? Where you've reached some kind of, not just a breaking point, but like a break through the ceiling point, okay, for October. So whatever you're doing with the Emperor and the Fool card right on the top and bottom of your deck, whatever you're doing, I feel like I feel like it's a moving forward and never looking back type energy. I think you're making a huge leap. Not just in faith, but like a huge leap from where you've been, right? It's almost like you've gone through like a quantum leap within your own psyche, you know, like who you were before the snap and who you are after the snap are completely different people. And it's like once you click into the new version of yourself, you can't believe you were ever the old version. You know what I mean? It's just like you're so far removed from it. It's like a butterfly moment, you know what I mean? Where the butterfly looks back at the chrysalis and was like, wow, I can't believe I trapped myself in there. You know what I mean? But yet it was so necessary to become the butterfly. Like, I feel like you're going through the emergence of it all, right? I think you're definitely emerging out of the energies coming through in October for you. 100%. I think you're seeing someone's energy for exactly what it is, and you just like, it's like you've reached a no more moment. Like, no more. Like, I don't even, you know, it's like, it reminds me of a time, right? There was a time, and this is how I knew I had to go, right? Because I've never been, and some people do, but I've never been a cheat, right? I've never been someone like that. I've never cheated. I would never willingly be the cheaty either. I think it's disgusting energy. Not to offend anybody who's cheated. I understand we all have different circumstances and reasons why we do things, okay? I just can't wrap my head around it. I got a Cancer moon. It's trying to Scorpio Venus. I can't, okay? I can't do it. But I remember a time where I was working part-time at night at a yoga studio. And I remember getting off early from work and being excited to get off early, you know, because it was, you know, a little slow, or the final instructor said they would close up so I didn't have to stay and all that stuff. And I remember not telling my boyfriend that I was getting home early because we were living together at the time. I remember not telling him that I was going to get off early, and instead I'd park around the corner and just kind of sit in the car and be in my own energetic space and not really want to go home. You know, I just didn't want to go home. And I would sit in the car around the corner, like right around the block, just sitting in the car for however long I had, you know, until he knew I was supposed to be home from work. And that's when I knew I wasn't happy, because I just didn't want to go home. I just didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go back to those walls. I didn't want to go back to the energy in there. I was just unhappy, you know? And that ended up prompting a conversation that I had with him. I was like, listen, because he wasn't necessarily a bad person either. You know, it's just, I couldn't take the pattern anymore. It's not like he did anything intentionally wrong, you know, like he was just being himself. And to this day, he's still like one of the better partners that I've had, if not the best partner that I've had. But I wasn't happy in the pattern. I wasn't happy in the dynamic of things. And it prompted me to have that conversation where I left him, you know, and I went on this journey healing myself and find myself where I am now, which I'm much more at peace in. Like, I feel like a sense of relief when I walk into the door and I'm home, right? Like, my home is my peaceful haven now, you know, and I think that's what you're realizing, like being away from a certain energy, whether, you know, they're good to you or not good to you, it doesn't matter. I think that whatever pattern you're in, you're just tired of it. You don't want to actually be in it anymore. And I think that you're kind of setting yourself free, so to speak, you know? That's Taurian energy. All right. So, moving forward. Gemini, y'all had most views and most likes. Let me timestamp you real quick. Y'all had most views and most likes. So, Gem, you will be getting a separate video message, a bonus message, an extra special one for getting both most views and most likes from the month of August. Okay, was it August or September? Did I look at that wrong? I guess we're doing September now. I guess we'll see. Let me see. I checked September. September determines November. Did I do that wrong? I might have. Let's see. Oh, y'all are going to hate me. Oh, okay. Let's see. Because it's based off July. July? August, September. No, it's based off August. What am I thinking? Okay. Let me unscramble my brain. 42 views. August. Who got more than 42? Scorpio. Scorpio got most views. Ooh, we're about to change things up. Y'all. Gemini. You might want to double check and make sure that you keep your stats for September's videos so that you get your bonuses in November. Most likes, most comments. Who got more than 8-7? Sag 9-8. Sag got most likes and most comments. Okay. Sorry, Gem. Sorry, Pisces. Sorry. Keep your stats up because you're going to need them for November. So Gem, You may this month feel like you had some really good stuff coming in only to feel shorted. That might be a part of your energy this month, feeling like everything was supposed to be really good and then feeling like you got slighted or shorted. Now, Jem, if you're dealing with someone who has strong Aries or Taurus energy, it might be because they're leaving. Okay, it might be because they're leaving and moving on to different things, which it was definitely the case, right? People feeling like they were just being abandoned or left from those two signs' energies. And so, you know, if you had high hopes for something, especially because both of those signs mentioned the Magician, which is your card, you might definitely feel like you're being shortchanged, you know what I mean? Or getting the short end of the stick, or not getting what you feel you deserve to get. So let's see. Don't hate me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just a divinely guided messenger, okay? I don't fuck up by mistake. Divine. Whatever you want to call it. I'm not in control here. I'm not in control here. And you might be feeling the same thing. You might be feeling like you are not in control. Shit gets fucked up, and sometimes it's just a divine's way of doing what it does. So, Gem, what is going on for you? This is Gemini and energy, right? The house in which Gemini rules for you. So if your fears are being shortchanged, right? 12th house Gemini, hey. Oh, we got Temperance out first with the Devil, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Coin. She could be definitely dealing with Capricornian energy, Saturnian energy, and Sagittarian energy. Might be super significant if you've got Saturn in Taurus or Sag. Give me some clarities, please. Or if you're dealing with someone who does. Temperance gets the Page of Cups. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Swords. Top is the Death card. All right, let me show you these. Yeah, this is Gemini's. Got the Two of Swords. Four of Wands is under that, and there's the Magician. That's your energy. Six of Swords is under that. So, I mean, there's definitely some kind of forward movement. Strength cards under that you're gonna need to be strong through. All right, this is the top and bottom of your deck here. Okay. Death cards on top, then the rest are the bottom and what's under it. Two of Swords is on the bottom. The Four of Wands, the Magician, and the Six of Swords. And like I said, the Strength cards under that with the Ace of Swords. I feel, Gemini, that you might be transforming hardcore because of a twin flame dynamic. That you might be reevaluating what you saw as a happily ever after in your mind. because the Four of Wands, I mean, we typically associate it with twin flames, right? Because of 1111. But the Four of Wands, wands is the suit of visualization. Okay. And so when we see the Four of Wands or 1111, especially in regards to twin flame dynamics, it's because we're picturing happily ever after, right? We're in that vibration of, you know, picturing two very independent people coming together and living happily ever after, right? That they would create a very balanced and stable outcome, right? We're visualizing the highest good outcome or the best possible outcome with someone. That's why 1111 shows up. It's a mindset, the Four of Wands, right? It's a visualization that you're holding, which is why we see that synchronicity. And so if you have attached that vision to someone where you are, you know, hoping for, or, you know, fingers crossed, counting on a happily ever after with someone, I feel like there's some kind of death to that, right? Or transformation coming from that, or you're starting to feel it for the first time type thing. And it's going to require a lot of strength moving forward. I think you're trying to manifest some forward movement. And so I feel like you're being honest or at least very clear inside your own thoughts, because you're picturing growing. I think you're picturing growing old with someone. I think you want epic. You just don't know how to get there. You don't know how to cross that bridge, right? To kind of bridge the gap. Really, I'm just digging deeper on the bottom of the deck. The Eight of Coins on this deck, the coins say, "In trash we trust," which reminds me of my D&D cards. The Wanderer. The Wanderer card. I'm going to read this for you real quick because I was obviously guided to it for a reason, right? This is the Wanderer card in my Pathfinder Harrow cards. Okay. The Wanderer, especially because it's the Centaur, right? It's Sagittarian energy, and that's the Temperance card. And then we have the Hierophant here, Taurian energy, and it's Chiron, right? The Hierophant is Chiron, and that's also a Centaur. So let me read for you real quick what the Wanderer is. So the Wanderer, it's a neutral good intelligence card. It says the Wanderer is a collector. The Centaur appreciates that which others regard as junk or trash. The Wanderer appears to those clever enough to find the true worth in something others ignore or treat as worthless. When it's misaligned, the Wanderer signifies a loss of values or the inability to see what is truly valuable in a person or situation. They see, right? They see the value in what others regard or consider trash, right? And you may have found yourself, if you're cross-watching for a Gemini, in this kind of situation where you saw the best in someone, the value of someone, despite warnings from other people that I'm sure you got that they were trash, okay, or garbage energy, right? And I feel like with that being present, you may have realized how you chased after trash. Okay. You may be realizing how you chased after trash, that just because you saw the value in someone beyond their trashy energetic state, right? Their lowly or garbage energy, just because you saw the potential in them. I think a part of you might be realizing that just because you saw it doesn't mean they'll ever reach it, or that being in the dichotomy with you or the synastry with you is not bringing them or elevating them out of it. but that having separated yourself from that is what's actually creating value, right? If you take it that way. And or you're moving back towards a situation because you're seeing the value in it now where you didn't before. Okay, you're seeing the value in something now where you didn't see the value before, where you may have disregarded it, right, or discarded it because it was trash. And now you're like, oh shit, that was more valuable than I thought. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like that kind of energy, Gem. It definitely feels like that kind of energy for me. With the Temperance here in the Page of Cups, I think there is some kind of alchemy going on within the self at the beginning of the month where you might need to forgive yourself for making a mistake. And or you're making an apology or accepting one, right? Because there's some kind of alchemy going on with the Temperance card that's coming through as a very sincere and simple communication, right? The acknowledgement of some kind of mistake and some kind of apology for it, and some asking or giving some kind of forgiveness because there's some kind of alchemy going on. This also really does look like the red circle in the back on the Temperance card. It's kind of reminding me of like a blood moon, which I believe is going to be at the end of the month. So you might, and eclipses, you could feel them well in advance. So I feel like, Gem, you're feeling this eclipse at the end of the month well in advance. And I say that because it's almost like the energy of it coming is like the first domino that got clicked off, and it starts to manifest by the end of the month. And you'll see what I mean, because I'm going to get there. The end of the month looks really, really good. To be fair, the whole second half of the month looks really, really good. To be fair, I'm not even super concerned about this devil energy. It comes out with the Knight of Coins. After the Temperance and the Page of Cups, we have the Devil and the Knight of Coins. And I feel like you're aware. I think there's this hyper focus on being aware of where you've been leaking energy and what you've bound yourself to. It could be leaking energy into addictions. It could be leaking energy into a situation with other people, right? Where you're literally like spending money, leaking money. Because look at this card, the Knight of Coins, right? He's literally leaking money. Okay. He's literally leaking money. And I think that you're coming into this solid awareness you are someone you're connected to, right? Because take it how it resonates. Because to be completely honest, I don't actually feel like the devil energy is your energy. I feel like I think you know. Really, and there's a centaur on this card too. That's a centaur. The Knight of Coins. That's a centaur. We've got all the Centaurian energy. You might definitely be integrating Sag energy with Temperance and all these centaurs going on. And Chiron and Aries might, with that sextile to your sign, be doing you a lot of good. Especially if you have like later Geminian placements, right? Like from 20 to 29 degrees Gemini. Yeah, it's like this addiction to... It's like this addiction to a storyline that you've been telling yourself in your head. This is who I am, right? This is who I am. This is what I do. And it's not working. It's not working. I think you're recognizing your own behavior or your own processing, right? Your mental processing. I think you're seeing it for the gaping hole, right? That your energy is leaking from for what it is. That it's literally costing you, right? Whatever you're addicted to, whatever story you've been telling yourself, whatever persona that you've been holding on to, I think you're realizing that it's costing you. It's like you've been trying to convince yourself that something is, and is going to be for the rest of however long, the rest of your life. This is who you are. And then it's like this realization of who I am is, or what I'm, telling, the story that I'm telling or buying into is literally costing me. Which is when we click into the second half of the month. And we get, and that's transition from there, from second week to third week, might most definitely be that solar eclipse in Libra, because that trines on your sign. Okay, you could definitely be feeling that energy, especially because it's also going to fall within that, degree mark. If you have Gemini placements between 20 and 29 degrees, it's definitely going to hit that decan, right? The third decan. Because we get the Hierophant with the 10 of Cups after. It's like you're coming out of a Chiron lesson really fucking wise. It's like you're coming out with wisdom. And finally realize what your 10 of Cups is. It's like you've been searching for happiness this whole time. Trying to make what situation or story you've been telling be your happiness, right? This is my happiness. And that's the story you've been telling yourself, right? This is my happiness. And then all of a sudden you realize what happiness for you really is. And it's not the story you've been telling, right? It's like a blindfold's been removed, right? It's almost like your eyes popped open and you realize you've been living in a nightmare. It's not even like you were in the dream. You were in the nightmare trying to convince yourself it's not a nightmare. And then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh my God, it was just a bad dream. You know what I mean? Like that story that I've been telling myself and buying into, like, oh my God, it's not even real. It's not even what I want. Like, it's not even, you know what I mean? It's like having this awakening moment. It's having this awakening moment, which is where we end up with the Queen of Coin, which is super perfect for Halloween. Clarified by the 9 of Cups and the Knight of Wands. You go into instant manifestation mode. Instant manifestation mode. That Queen of Coins is the feminine's desire within the self, the heart's desire made manifest. It is the wish fulfillment with the 9 of Cups, and the Knight of Wands is drive, right? That is energy and drive and going after what it is you want. It's speed, right? It's speed. I think once you open your eyes, it's like high speed starts to kick into gear in your own energy. And I think that's kind of where even the whole flop of, before your reading, where I was like, oh my God, I think that you guys are actually getting November's, bonus reads, not, Octobers, you know, it's like you thought something was your wish, you thought something was your blessing or your bonus in life, only to wake up and realize, oh my God, that's not it. It's somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's something in the future that you're seeing now. You know what I mean? It's not where you are. Whatever story you've been telling yourself, I think you're completely cutting cords with whatever toxicity was keeping you in that cycle, right? Whatever hidden abandonment type wound, which we often get with Chiron, right? That martyring of the self because this fear of being abandoned, where we go above and beyond for certain people or certain situations because, you know, we don't want to be without. We don't want to be alone, right? We don't want to feel like no one cares. And so we overextend the self. And I think, especially if you have a Chiron in Gemini, let's be real. Like if you have Chiron in Gemini and you're a part of that generation, this might seriously be clicking for you. And you just might be like, oh my God, you know, and having this kind of awakening type moment in October. I think by the end of the month, you're full speed ahead going towards your dream, right? Your actual wish, because you're clear on what your actual wish is now. Okay. So Gemini or cross watchers, you can take that how it resonates, but that is definitely Gemini's energy for October. Okay. Moving forward. Cancer. Yeah, you feel like you've already been seeing that line? Yup. Fucking crazy, right? Fucking crazy. Oh. All right, Cancer. Let's go. Cancerian energy. Cancerian energy. The house in which Cancer rules for you. The house in which Cancer rules for you. What is going on? Spirit, please. The Cancerian energies in October. What is going on? What is going on? All right, clarities, please. All right. Bottom of the deck is the King of Coin. Top of the deck is the Six of Wands with the Queen of Coin. I pulled the top card off and the Queen of Coin under it came out with it. So, I mean, usually I dig on the bottom for more cards, but the Queen of Coins came out with the Six of Wands, which is interesting because the King of Coin is on the bottom. So this is a victory with the Six of Wands. It's definitely a victory here. King of Coins and the Two of Cups is under that. Yeah, you've definitely, Cancer, have a major victory in the 3D, right? Because the suit of coins is the 3D manifestation. And the Two of Cups is definitely an alchemical integration within the self. So I feel like you have your masculine and feminine energy, especially if you have strong earth in your chart or just what is going on, right, in the earth signs. That's really benefiting you. Yeah, the Page of Coins is under that. I feel, Cancer, that you are dead set on manifesting something and you get it. And you get it. Your mind might break a little bit, and there may definitely be a sacrifice to getting it. But you do get it. Now, as I look at the cards here, the first week, we have the King of Cups, which I read as your energy because kings are cardinal and cups are water. Some readers will also say it's Piscean because it's the third water sign, the final water sign. But it's cardinal water, which is, to me, your energy, and it comes out with the Two of Swords. And so I feel like you're being really vulnerable with yourself about what it is that you have, right? Because the King of Cups here, it's you know, the alligator or the crocodile with the fish in its mouth. It's got a fish in its mouth. It's eating. It comes out with the Two of Swords. And so it's like you're aware that what you have is not bad, right? Especially if you're in the Queen of Coins energy. It's just, you know, the King of Coin energy is there, right? You know, the King of Coin energy is where you want to be at. There's nothing wrong with the Queen of Coin energy, but there's still another level, you know what I mean, of elevation to the manifestation that you're aware of. I don't remember the alligator's name in All Dogs Go to Heaven. But that's what this is reminding me of. Maybe you haven't watched that movie in a while, and maybe you should. Maybe there's another message in there for you, some kind of mirror lesson that you could take away from it and apply to your own reality, right? All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's such a great, great movie. And in order to get from the Queen to the King, I think you know that some kind of cut needs to be made, which is actually putting you in a very mentally uncomfortable spot, because we got the Eight of Swords after that, right? Moving into the second week, there's feeling like you don't exactly know what to do, but your heart is guiding you to it. It's just difficult for you to do it, right? It's difficult for you to do it, but your high feminine energy, your Empress energy, clarifying that Eight of Swords, it's definitely this push to manifest higher, right? And I think that you being pushed like this, I do think it's rather uncomfortable. But the truth is the tower is going to come down. Like, I think you're well aware of that because we have the Ace of Swords with the tower after that. Right. Yeah, the Ace of Swords with the tower after that. And so it's like, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're not exactly sure how it's going to work out, even if you don't know if it's the right thing, so to speak, to cut out whatever needs to get cut in order to manifest higher, right? To elevate higher. I don't think you could help but make the cut. I don't think you could help but be real with yourself and let the tower come down and just letting it be what it is. Like, it's literally letting it burn, right? Letting it burn. You might be dealing with very fragile energy or some type of family situation or dynamic. It doesn't necessarily have to be like blood family. It could be work family. It could be soul family. It could be friendship families. You know what I mean? But there's some kind of like, because this tower in particular is a tree. And we've got this fragile, like Humpty Dumpty egg figure that's just cracking, right? Cracking and falling apart. I think you're letting something burn. Because I feel like energetically, it's too expensive. It's too expensive to maintain it. And it's kind of like, it's reminding me of this short or reel that I just watched, where a guy was interviewing a multi-millionaire. And he was asking him, you know, how do you jump from 6 figures to 7 figures? You know, how did you go from making, you know, hundreds of thousands to crossing that threshold into millions? And he said, delegate. He said, if you're stuck on micromanaging every little detail to control everything, he goes, you'll never bump up into 7 figures. He goes, once you start to trust and delegate people, let other people do the harder work for you, you can just sit back and enjoy the income. You know, and in the meantime, you're also employing other people. You're also supporting their lives. And, you know, because he had started with a tanning salon that ended up being like 13 different states worth of tanning salons. And he said, you just have to delegate, right? You have to have people that you trust to do a job so that you don't have to do it. It's working smarter, not harder. And so I feel like that's the kind of energy you're finding yourself in. It's like working smarter, not harder. So you could have made a certain life for yourself or a certain scenario, right, that you're living in, and realizing that instead of micromanaging every little thing, that you can put certain things in place in your life with people that you trust to help you with the energy that you've been putting out trying to make a manifestation. You know, I mean, and you can do the business metaphor where it's like, you know, you're a CEO now and you're delegating to, you know, regional managers and district managers and general managers, right? And there's that delegation. Or you could realize that maybe you've been the head of the family doing everything, and now all of a sudden you put yourself in a situation where there's people helping you and you're not doing it all by yourself. You know, maybe you do have, you know, people like grandparents helping you, or people like, you know, aunts or uncles helping you, you know, taking the kids off you for a little while, or, you know, they're helping provide a roof or something like that. You're not doing it all by yourself, right? There's some kind of delegation of energy that makes things a lot easier on you, so that you don't feel like you're doing everything. And that's definitely a tower moment, because that's a big shift, right? That's a big change from feeling like you're doing everything to being able to breathe because other people are sharing the load with you, you know? And that's when we move into the 8 of Coins reversed with the Star card. And by the end of the month, you are not working nearly as hard. Oh, I said the 8 of Coins. It's the 3 of Coins. It's the release of a contract, and you're not working as hard, right? You're not working as hard, especially, I guess, because the Star card is 17. It breaks down to an 8. I think you're releasing a contract with someone. It's Aquarian energy, Uranian energy. So, you know, you might be saying to yourself, it's easier this way, right? It's healing. You're releasing some kind of contract that is costing too much, energetically speaking. And I think it's a major victory for you, right? It's a major victory for you because you want a certain reality and you're dead set on getting it, right? And you get it. You get what you want because you're willing to sacrifice whatever was and change it to what visually you want it to be, right? If what you're visualizing, what you want is not the reality, then the reality has to shift to become what you want. And I think you're making that connection, right? The reality has to shift to become what you want then, which means the reality, the way it is, has to shift. It has to change. It has to go. You know what I mean? And so you're ultimately benefiting from it. You're making some kind of cut, some kind of clarity, and freeing yourself mentally to live what you actually want to live, right? Experience wise, whatever you're visualizing. I think there's this definite release in order to achieve it. So kudos to you, Cancer. I don't feel like it was an easy choice to make the shift, but it was 100% necessary and worth it. You know what I mean? What you did. So that's October for Cancer. Okay. Moving forward, we're going to move on to Leo's energy. Let's see. Timestamp. For Leo. Spirit, please, what is going on in October for Leo energy, the house in which Leo rules for you. Mind you, Leo is still taking huge squares and challenges from Jupiter and Uranus. Okay. What is going on with Leo's energy? So to be fair, you're still being blessed with Venus and Juno for the beginning of the month. What is going on? Got the Chariot out first. With the World card. That is your card. It's also Saturnian. We got the Hermit. And the Six of Wands. Wow. Really, that's three major arcana and the Six of Wands. Give me some clarity, please. Knight of Swords clarifying the Chariot. The Moon is clarifying the World. Well, that's definitely Saturn in Pisces. That is quincunxing on your sign. Potentially with some oppositions as well. Or trines, depending on the placements. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands on the bottom and the Queen of Swords on top. Okay, so Leo. The Nine of Swords is under that. Ooh, the Ten of Swords is under that. Jesus. Okay. Judgment. All right, Leo. This is the bottom of your deck, starting with the Queen of Wands and then going down. That's the bottom. And it's almost like this, like, am I hearing you right? Because the Queen of Wands, you could see how the Q-tip's going all the way through our little garbage pail kid's head. And all that wax is coming out. And then we have, you know, this Three of Cups and the Two of Wands, and then this 9 and 10 of Swords on the bottom. And I think it's like with the Queen of Swords on top, right? We have the Queen of Swords on top of the deck. It's almost like an am I hearing you correctly? Am I hearing you correctly? Because I think that something a third party is saying to you has you all kinds of twisted. I think it's got you all kinds of twisted. And now you're in this place mentally where it's like, I'm hearing like that old song, like, the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the ants play pinochle on your scalp, and then your skin turns a slimy green, and pus comes out like shaving cream. Oh my God. I think, and the Nine of Swords is what prompted that. Forgive me, because she literally has like worms, like these weird, like glow worms, like crawling in and out of her nose. They're all over her head, these fucking cards. Oh my God, right? Garbage pail kids. Yeah, I feel like something someone is saying to you, it's definitely a third party or a karmic energy, right? It's not anybody who's in your highest good right now. Even if they were at a certain point of time, they're not anymore. I think that the energy coming from them has you all kinds of twisted, and it's causing you a great deal of anxiety because you feel like what they're saying is a betrayal to everything you thought they were at some point. Like, you didn't think that they would go there or be like that. You know, it's like something someone says to you has you all kinds of fucking twisted. And it might be like a worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Like, but it's the truth, though. It's the truth, right? The Judgment card under that and the Eight of Cups under that. If you or someone else is leaving, because it could totally be switched up, you know what I mean? Like, take the message how it resonates. You could be communicating that to somebody that has them all kinds of fucking twisted. You know, depending on, you know, the Leo energy in both your charts, right? Your synastry. But I think someone had their head in the clouds. And it's like all of a sudden, whatever is transpiring, whatever you're hearing, it's like bringing you back down to earth, you know, like bringing you back to the reality. Like, you can't just stay floating in the clouds. You've got to come back to reality. And I think reality kind of hits you or someone, but I feel like the reality is kind of hitting because we have the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. So Cancerian energy here. And communication. So you or someone may be talking about moving forward. Okay. Definitely seeing the different pieces and how they go together, right? It's seeing all the different facets of the reality that make the whole, right? When you shine a light through a prism, it shows you the rainbow, right? The different sections or wavelengths of light that create the white light. And I feel like someone is seeing all of the different layers that make up the whole. And instead of seeing all of the layers, right, all of these separate facets of the self, they might want the whole, you know, they might want the whole. It would be like seeing it, it's almost like seeing somebody in those different layers, right? Like if you were to shine their light through a prism and noticing that some of the colors are missing, and you're like, that's weird. You know, like the rainbow's not supposed to be missing yellow, and the rainbow's not supposed to be missing blue, or it's not supposed to be missing red, which is weird because those are all primary colors. Right? Like it's like a primary wavelength, like you're supposed to have that there. And it's like seeing someone in all of their different layers and noticing that there's certain things that are missing and communicating that, which effectively closes the cycle on some kind of illusion, because whatever was missing, I think they were trying to hide it, right? With the World card and the Moon card here. I think they were trying to hide it, right? It's something that's painful with the World, right? That Saturn energy. It's something that's painful, something they feel crippled by. It's like a deep wound that they've buried. And they didn't want you to see it. They didn't want you to see it, but it's like looking at the whole, right? The whole beam of white light before you see all the different layers and what's missing. It's almost like you knew the white light was white, but it was coming off dim, or it was coming off faded in some weird way. And you knew it wasn't as bright as it would be. And it's like addressing it. It's definitely addressing it. The fact that, you know, maybe the foundation that you've been building on with someone or with something is cracking. Like it's erupting, you know what I mean? Because I'm looking at the Chariot card and I'm literally seeing the foundation, like the ground start to crack, right? It's starting to crack. Could also be a communication that comes through where the facade breaks, right? That real solid illusion of being whole starts to break, and you're like, oh, like it's revealing, right? Like whatever is being communicated is revealing the flaw or the fault within the self, and it's noticed, right? It's noticed that they're not all put together, right? Like they come off sometimes. Like the insecurity bleeds through, or the weakness bleeds through, or the wounding bleeds through the facade. And you're just like, I saw that. You know what I mean? It's like someone caught it. Someone caught it. And the pain's not hidden anymore. It's been trying to be kept a secret, and it might instantly try and go deeper and instantly try to disappear, because it's almost like it's aware it was seen. Like the pain, the wound, the shadow was aware that it was noticed, and all of a sudden it's trying to like cover up its tracks, but it's too late. Like it's too late. It was already witnessed. And that's coming into the solar eclipse in the middle of the month, right? It's almost like you got a peek at someone's it's like, the way I'm feeling, it's almost like a little bit of an inner werewolf that came out when something was said. It was like a trigger that they instantly kind of snapped at, because you shined light on something that they didn't. I feel like it triggered them. Like whatever happened was triggering for them. And the trigger cracked the facade just enough to shine light on what's really going on under there. And I think you're seeing, right, this Hermit Virgo energy with the Fool in reverse energy, how stuck someone is in not wanting to look at themselves. Someone really doesn't want to look at themselves. Someone really, really, really doesn't want to do the inner work. They'd rather bury it, bury it, bury it, and pretend it's not there. It's a wound. It's a big wound. And if you look at this Hermit card, it's like a tree that's growing straight out of a tree that's fallen over. And the tree underneath is dead, right? It fell over. It's dead. But that new tree is growing out of the old tree. And it's almost like realizing that someone tried to grow themselves from a very broken, dead place. And they're putting on this facade like they're this big grown tree. But when you look a little bit deeper, it's growing off a very broken, dead type of foundation. It's not like it's rooted solid in the ground. It looks like it's floating, right? It's floating in the dark. It's not rooted in anything. There's all these cobwebs here. Like someone tried to bury something so deep, like they tried to like catacomb it. Someone might be putting on this huge facade of life when they're dead inside. And it's almost like seeing that they've been faking it the whole time. Like they've been putting on a show or putting on a play, you know, like they've been acting out. Like literal, I feel like it's acting, like they've been acting. Like everything is great, everything is perfect, and yet, and they have it all together, and they're the main character and all this stuff, but they're dead inside. What they've built this whole character off of it's a complete fabrication. It's a complete lie. I feel like this person's energy that grows in places it's not supposed to grow. It grows in places it's not supposed to grow. Like a tree is supposed to grow solid in the ground, and instead it is growing off this dead energy, right? It's growing somewhere it's not supposed to grow. You gotta watch that it doesn't get inside your head. That it doesn't start to grow inside of you. because the Six of Wands here, we have that same tree-like energy growing out the ears, growing out the mouth, growing out the nose. It's the Six of Wands coming out with the 11 of Wands, or the Five of Wands, which is 11 Wands. Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird, Kristen. It is kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of energy. Like you don't even realize the beast is in there, and then all of a sudden it's out. And then once it's out, it's like once this person gets inside your head, like once you see it, once you realize it's all make-believe, it's all just a show, like this person is empty and devoid of any real foundation on the inside. I think in the mirror, you really can't psych yourself out, because it makes you wonder how you connected with such a person to begin with. Like in the divine mirror of things, where have you been devoid or dead in your own self that you connected with such a person, that you've been playing make-believe with them? You know what I mean? And it's kind of like really having to watch the fact that it's going to get inside your head, because you're going to get really conflicted, right? That Five of Wands is inner conflict. And it's like this whole time you've been playing house. You've been playing house with your head in the clouds, and it's like being sucked back down to the reality of it. Like, oh my God. It's like being married to a machine, right? Being married to a robot who's been wearing this, human-like appearance. But they've literally only been doing what they've been programmed to do. Like, this is what humans do, right? And there's nothing there. Like, there's no, it's like there's no soul there. It's like you've literally been relating with and playing house with AI, and you're like, oh my God. They're just doing what they think they're supposed to do, like what they've been programmed to do, because this is what they think humans are supposed to do. But there's nothing there. There's nothing there. They're dead inside. They're just doing what they're supposed to do, or what they think they're supposed to do. And it's like having this realization, and you're looking at them like you don't even know them anymore, because there's nothing to know. It's like such a bizarre, like I feel like this energy is such a bizarre realization of where the fuck you are. Like you're living in a fucking, like it's like a Twilight Zone. It's been a fucking Twilight Zone. This person is so dead set, right? Whoever this was is so dead set on ignoring the fact that they're living on dead energy, right? That they're dead inside, that they're not focusing on healing and creating a solid foundation for themselves, and actually like coming back to life. You know what life is really about growth, about solidity, about, finding your authentic path and not doing what you think you're supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? But actually living. It's like this I'm so sorry. I feel like whoever I'm reading for, whatever energy this is, it's like they don't know who the fuck they are. It's almost like they killed whoever they could have been a long time ago, and they've just been putting on this show, what everybody expects them to be or wants them to be, because if they were who they really are, they'd be the monster, right? They'd be the werewolf type thing. And it's like, but it's all an act. So it's all an act. They never let their actual self grow or develop. they killed it, but they couldn't separate themselves from it. You know what I mean? Like they killed that tree of who they were. They killed it, but they couldn't separate themselves from it and continued to grow under this illusion that the foundation was solid, but it's not. But it's not. Really, I'm curious to what Ophiuchus is going to have for you as guidance, Leo. That's so crazy. What a crazy reading. I've never had a reading like that. That's so wild. Really, Saturn and Pisces, like it's almost like realizing you've been living in some concocted, societally acceptable dreamland that has nothing to do with who you really are or who they really are, and it's just all make believe and make pretend. Like this is what we're supposed to do, right? Right, because Saturn is like hierarchical, you know, like government, society, systems, like this is what we're supposed to do, right? We're living the dream, right? We've got the house and the white picket fence and the dogs and the kids, right? Like this is what we're supposed to do. And realizing it's so empty. Let's move forward into Virgo. Virgo energy. All right. Spirit, what's going on with Virgo? Virgo energy in the house in which Virgo rules for you. What's going on? What's going on? In October. What's going on with Virgo? Virgo energies. The house in which Virgo rules for October. What's going on in there? Mercury is still in there right now. It's actually in trine to Pluto. As of today, I believe. Yeah. Lilith is retrograding out of your sign right now. I'm sure it'll be back in there later, but it's paying Leo a visit. Lilith is about to pay Leo a visit. Let's see what's going on. Virgo energy. We've got the Emperor, Temperance, the Tower, Lots of fire. 3 major arcana. And the 10 of Wands. Clarities, please. Really, all fire. We got the 10 of Coins on the Emperor. 4 of Coins on Temperance. The Star card on the Tower. And the Empress. So the first card out was the Emperor. The final card out was the Empress. We have the 6 of Cups on the bottom. And the 2 of Wands on top. Ooh, the High Priestess and the Hierophant are under the 6 of Cups. With the 5 of Cups under that. This is what the top and bottom of your deck look like. I'm being nosy, peeking at the bottom of your deck. All right, Virgo. So I think you already intuitively know that the Tower's coming. Okay, because we do have the Tower out here. I think you already are intuitively picking up on it. And I'm just looking, and these cards are gross, but the synchronicities coming off of them, right? The messages I'm getting. If you look at the 6 of Cups, the masculine energy has a plug on his nose, like one of those old clothesline pins, because he doesn't want to smell the stink of the feminine energy just shitting herself and throwing up all over the place, right? Like she's just a fucking mess. But he's essentially overflowing with lovely liquids from his pants, and it's like piss runs downwards. Your inner heart space, your feelings might not feel good, and you might be ignoring it hardcore and trying to put on, or a sacred soulmate, take it how it resonates, because it is the 6 of Cups, right? Trying to ignore how bad everything feels, trying to put, you know, the plug on the nose, like, nope, I don't smell the stink. Do you? No? Okay, like, we're not going to smell it. You know what I mean? Like, pretending you can't smell it. Probably saying, here, have a drink, like, relax, go have a drink, like, trying to drown it out. And really, it's that kind of energy that's making it worse, right? Piss running downwards. It's like making it worse. Like it stinks, you know, the feelings aren't good. And it's almost like a denial that it doesn't feel good and trying to like drink it away, you know, metaphorically or literally speaking, like just trying to pretend it's not there and doing something to escape, you know, and just pretend. But that's making it worse. That's making it worse. Pretending like it doesn't suck to feel the way you feel. And so we start the month with the Emperor and the Ten of Coins. It could definitely be a family situation. It could also be a job or career situation. Okay. Because the Emperor is kind of like the boss. And in these two cards, both heads are exploding. One's exploding with that, you know, fuming cloud, and then the other one is exploding with coins. You might have a control freak on your hands. And the Ten of Coins came out a couple times already, and I didn't notice it, but there's fractures in the ground underneath the rocking chair. It's almost like it doesn't have longevity, or someone doesn't have longevity. This could also represent someone who looks very emperor-like in control on the outside, right? Male or female, it doesn't matter. But it's someone who has very much this younger appearance, but on the inside, they're really old. It's like they're damaged, like their insides are damaged. Like maybe they have really bad health. Like even if they're in their like 30s or 40s, they might have some very serious health issues. And it might be because of the way they work and or provide. And they may feel like shit, and they're trying to drink it away, or they're trying to do something to escape the fact that they know that their health is bad. Especially because Virgo natally rules the 6th house of health and service. They're trying, with the Temperance card and the 4 of Coins, it's like they're trying to keep things harmonious. And yet, the more they're after these coins, and it's like putting money where their mouth is, their teeth are falling out. I feel like they're a big baby. Someone, Virgo, you or someone else that you're dealing with is a big baby. Like it's almost like they need to be taken care of, and yet they're the one taking care of everybody, and they can't handle it. It's not good for their health. And they're handling it in a very immature way, right? Drinking it away or drinking it down, or escaping in some which way, shape, or form with other substances, or even video games, or multiple, you know, escapes. It's almost like you're dealing with someone who really needs someone to take care of them. And someone's not putting their money where their mouth is. Or if they are, it's actually damaging It's damaging their health. You know, if someone like, it's like if someone promised, like, I can provide, I could take care of you, I could take care of everything. And then they're putting their money where their mouth is and making it happen. You know, like they're actually doing the providing and taking care of everybody, but it's seriously deteriorating their health. And it might be showing in their teeth. It might literally be showing in their teeth. Like if their teeth have started to fall away or they're not brushing them or some shit. They just look like a hot fucking mess. Or they don't care anymore. Like something about their appearance fell off, something. Someone needs to be taking care of this, taking care of everybody else. Because then we get the Tower with the Star card. And I think that that's the realization of the health issue. Because the Star is a healing type energy. And the Tower is like the rug getting pulled out from under you. So, you know, some of you Virgos, not everybody, but some of you may be dealing with a serious health scare, not necessarily yourself, but maybe someone who's doing a lot of providing in your life to where they can't do it anymore. It's too much of a burden, right? It's too much of a burden because then we have the 10 of Wands with the Empress card. They need to receive. They're not the masculine emperor. They're the feminine. They need to receive. They need to receive. They're doing the providing and they're not meant to. They need to be taken care of. They can't do it all. It's like being too tired or worn out or drained to even play with the kids kind of thing. You know, like they want to, but they just don't have it. You know what I mean? They just don't have it to do that. I feel like someone's breaking down. They've got a major health issue, whether it's psychological health, mental health, emotional health, or literal health. It could be their financial situation. They might have completely strung themselves out. They might be in debt up to their fucking ears and they have no more room to move. They have no more money to borrow. They're tapped out. They've been ignoring how they're feeling for too long. It caught up to them. Yeah, it definitely caught up to them. And I feel like it's unavoidable because all 4 weeks we have major arcana, if not multiple major arcana, inside each week. So this is beyond their ability to control it. Like if they are not meant to be doing what they're doing anymore, the universe said enough. You are not allowed to keep doing this to yourself. Enough. Major arcana are milestones. They're not like the minor arcana, which are choices that we make between the milestones. Like this is milestone after milestone after milestone after milestone. Like, yeah. Yeah. It's like they're being forced to slow down and be nurtured. They're being forced to slow down so that they can receive. They need to be taken care of. They need to be taken care of. Someone needs to take care of them. Someone needs to do and provide and cater to them. They're hurting themselves. Doing what they're doing, they're hurting themselves. can't keep doing it. The stress or the burden of it all, it's just too much. Okay. Libra. Libra and Libran energy. The house that Libra rules for you. What is going on? Happy birthday to all of our October Libras, by the way. What is going on? What is going on? With Libra and Libran energy. That's Mars in your sign. For now, Mars is going to end up clicking into Scorpio. Let's see. Yeah, Mars is going to leave your sign on the 12th of October, right before the solar eclipse. You got Mars leaving your sign. But the sun is going to be well within orb of South Node. Mercury will be in there, so you'll definitely have a lot going on this month in Libra. So what is going on? I believe that also Venus will be in Virgo. Yeah, which puts it, you know, in a very, because that's Libra's ruling planet, it puts it in a very, like, gassed out, or rather out of gas, you know, kind of situation. Yeah, so what else is going on? Got the Tower, what else? Judgment, that's scorpionic energy, so that's definitely Mars moving into Scorpio. You're going to probably feel that loss of that energy. We've got the Star card, Aquarian energy, and Uranian energy, and then we have the Ace of Swords. Clarities. Libra. Double scorpionic energy. We got the Queen of Cups on the Judgment card. Temperance with the Star. So we have a lot of major arcana for you as well. Okay. Blessings in disguise, Libra. Blessings in disguise. With the Seven of Wands on top. With the Knight of Cups on bottom. The Ace of Cups is under that. With the King of Swords. Okay. So this is what your top and bottom look like. All right. So with the Seven of Wands on top, you can see he's, a Cyclops. So it's kind of, I'm almost reading it as third eye energy. But it's like fighting off the energetic invasion, right? This energetic invasion. We have these little brain-like looking aliens, coming at the Cyclops. And, I think that they're seeing this invasive energy for what it is, and they're defending themselves against it. I think with the Knight of Cups on bottom, especially because they're literally sailing in a ship, and they've also got one eye, which is fucking crazy. He's got the eye patch on because he's a pirate. Or he's got the eye patch on. So does the boat, for that matter. Even the boat has one eye. I think they're moving forward, and the universe is overflowing to them in some which way, shape, or form with an opportunity to love themselves. And it does involve a living situation. It involves some healing work. It involves facing some self-sabotage. And definitely someone who's a little, I don't know if tongue-in-cheek is the right word, but it's definitely someone who's eating their words. You or whoever you're cross-watching for, or someone that you're dealing with, it's someone eating their words. Because like I said, they're very aware of the fact that they're defending themselves against invasive energy. At the beginning of the month, Libra, we have the Tower card with the Three of Swords. So there is some kind of major blindsided pain that you are not prepared for. Okay. And maybe it's something you didn't think you cared about, and then all of a sudden it's getting removed, or there's word that it's being removed, and you realize how much you care. It's that kind of, it could be that kind of energy, right? Like, I'll use an example. Like maybe you didn't think you really cared about someone so much, and maybe they were just a friend or an acquaintance at work or whatever. Maybe they had expressed a liking for you at some point, but you weren't, really feeling it, but maybe you're still friends or whatever. And then all of a sudden you realize they're leaving the job and going to a different location, a different job. And you're just like heartbroken. It's almost like you felt like they would always be there, and then all of a sudden you get the news that they're leaving, and you're just like, oh my God, and it hurts, and you didn't even realize how much it would hurt because you didn't even acknowledge how much you cared. It could be that kind of energy. It could also be straight up heartbreak, like straight up blindsided, oh my God, pain, like the Tower with the Three of Swords. There is no way as a reader that I can pretty that to make it feel good. I mean, the best case scenario is that you realize how much you cared about someone because you realize they're moving forward or leaving, without you type thing. And discovering just how much you care because of how much it hurts, right? The idea of losing them. But it could just straight up be blindsided loss that causes a lot of pain, right? Pain that you genuinely need to recover from, that you are genuinely, going through, the stages of grief, so to speak. At first there's like this sadness, and then there's this anger, and then there's the denial, and, all the different stages of it, whatever the stages are. It's like, I think you hit the first stage, and it's the immediate loss of whatever it is, and it's painful. From that, we get the Judgment card and the Queen of Cups. And so Maybe you knew it was never going to work out, or maybe you knew it was going to end for a while and you were holding on to it beyond its expiration date. Maybe a part of you knew that. With the Judgment card and the Queen of Cups, it's double Scorpio, because queens are fixed energy and it's water. The Suit of Cups is water, and so it's fixed energy, it's fixed water. It's Scorpio. Judgment is Scorpio. You might also be realizing that, you know, especially because this person is dressed in an angel costume, but underneath they're the skeleton, the skull. Right? The Judgment card, they're literally unzipping themselves and revealing death. You could have put someone on a pedestal like they were an angel, only to realize they were the Reaper and were literally just killing your heart space, and you were doing your absolute best for them. They were the fucking Reaper. We've got a blue eye and a brown eye here too. The two eyes flying out of the skull. One is blue and one is brown. So that might be really symbolic if you know someone who has like two different color eyes or something interesting with their eyes. Or if you do, right? That might be a serious synchronicity for you. Yeah, I think you were investing a whole lot in someone that I think you really, really, really wanted it to work, but it was never meant to work. Like they were the Reaper. Like they were karma. They were karma. Like you fell in love with karma, and then karma just betrayed the shit out of you. Because you had healing that needed to be done, especially if you have significant Sagittarian energy or Aquarian energy inside your chart that required the healing. I think the solar eclipse in your sign is going to be really humbling. And I think it gets better from there, because the end of the month we have the Ace of Swords with the Eight of Cups and the King of Coins. I mean, you really do move forward, right? The truth and the integrity of spirit would have you move forward into a better manifestation for sure. That's the end of the month, right? We have this clarity and this new direction, right? This new direction moving forward. That is very beneficial for you. But I don't think you would have moved forward without the pain. I think the pain has been a catalyst for you to move forward. Otherwise, you would have stayed stuck. I think that you were so in love with whoever or whatever it was, whether it's a person, a place, a circumstance, a job, like whatever it was, that you had put it on a pedestal. And it was just taking or using you in some way, manipulating or violating or abusive even, and you weren't seeing it. You know what I mean? Like the amount of pain that you're feeling at the beginning of the month is catalyzing you to come out and move forward at the beginning of the month. That something has to shift, you know, whether it is the idea of a certain coworker leaving and all of a sudden you realize you would rather work with them wherever they are than stay at your job. So you're like, well, is there any other positions open where you're going? I'm going to apply. I want to go with you. You know what I mean? And continuing to move with them. Or, you know, the pain of dealing with a relationship that might have truly been and sincerely been toxic right? Where you were with an abusive partner or abusive person and weren't realizing it. And the pain of that is propelling you forward to leave, you know what I mean? To finally leave the toxic situation or whatever it is, right? However, this reading resonates for you in the month of October. But I feel like come the solar eclipse in the middle of the month, I think you're seeing the Reaper for who they are. I think that they're unveiling themselves or taking off their angel-like appearance and revealing just how I'm hearing like a whole bunch of words like numbing and toxic and everything that they are. Like, I think it's being revealed. You know, or someone you cared a lot about doesn't care at all. You know, like they're dead inside, right? The skeleton, like they're coming off like an angel, but they're dead inside. Like they never cared about you as much as you cared about them, you know, and realizing that. You know, it could be depending on what house Libra rules for you. Like if it's your 11th house and you're dealing with friends, like you could have been treating someone like they were your friend and were there for them like a friend this whole time, you know, only to realize that they're the kind of friend who's talking about you behind your back and joking about you behind your back and making a mockery of you to other people, and they're not your friend. Like you might have been there for them and been doing for them what, you know, you would want for your friends to do for you, you know, and being a really good friend to said person. If they called you at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you would answer and be there. But if you called them at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, not only would they screen the phone call, if you left a voicemail saying that you needed help, they'd laugh about it and then talk to their friends about it, about how much you called them and how hilarious it was and make a joke out of you. And you're just, you know, it's like realizing that someone's not your friend, you know what I mean? Depending on, like I said, what house Libra falls in for you. Someone's not valuing you the way you value them. And I think that once that eclipse happens, that solar eclipse happens, I think it's forward moving. I think the star card with the temperance energy and healing, right? Healing with that Aquarian, Sagittarian energy is really positive. You know, it might definitely be another person because there's nothing actually going on in the cosmos with Aquarius or Sag. You know, they're both technically empty outside of regular like monthly lunar cycles. So you may be dealing with someone who has strong Aqua or Sag placements, if not both. That's very, very beneficial to your healing, especially because both of those signs are majorly healing. And I feel like you're moving forward into something better. You know, you might be leaving the dark night of the soul, so to speak, but you're definitely fighting off invasive energies this month. And whoever that toxic is, that dark is, that pain is what you're fighting off. It's invasive. And I think you're moving forward, right? That Knight of Cups, I think you're moving forward. And you might feel like you're blind to people sometimes, especially with all that one eye stuff. Like you might feel like you can't see deep into people as deep as you would like, you know, especially being an air sign, seeing what's going on below the surface with people might be a little to read people's intentions or read people's energies or read who they really are. Like you might be a believer and this is what they show you, and so this is who they are, and not realize that there's manipulative people out there, sociopathic people out there, you know, people who will be nice to your face and tear you apart behind your back, and you're like, well, they're always nice to me, but then you realize like they're literally just dogging the shit out of you, you know what I mean? And it's just, I think that you're realizing a situation that you thought was one way, you're realizing it's not that way, right? And that maybe you were idolizing or pedalizing someone, putting someone on a pedestal that never deserved that kind of pedestal ever, you know, never deserved that kind of priority or that kind of grace or mercy or beautiful light from you, you know. They never deserved your light. They never deserved your light. And that's probably a really painful realization, but you'll have to let me know in the comments if that ends up ringing true for you this month. Alrighty. We're going to get into Scorpio, who had most views for August, which did determine the bonus readings for this month. So despite what I said at the beginning of the video, at the beginning of the live, where I was like, Gemini and Pisces, blah, blah, blah. No, they will most likely have it for November based off September's energies. But August's energies, Scorpio got most views. So you guys will have an extra bonus reading, a separate video special for you for having most views in August. If you would like to continue having, you know, bonus views or bonus readings and things like that, because I did it a little different this month. Definitely make sure to drop some likes or comments, you know, down below so that I know that you would like bonus readings for the rest of the year. And we'll see. Let's see what's going on with Scorpio. What is going on with Scorpio? Scorpionic energy. Definitely getting Mars entering your sign this month. Happy birthday to all of the October Scorpios. You will have the sun in your sign by the end of the month. Let's see. Let's see what is going on. Scorpionic energy. What's going on? Really, you're going to have the lunar eclipse opposing your sign. The blood moon at the end of the month. It'll be the last eclipse, lunar eclipse in your sign for quite a while. Yeah, we literally got the moon card at the end of the month. I need some more clarity, please. Scorpio, Scorpionic energy, the house that Scorpio rules. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands. Top of the deck is the Knight of Wands. Really, Ace of Wands and Ace of Swords is underneath the Two of Wands. So this is what the top and bottom of your deck looks like. You have the Empress under that. I think you're going to be seeing things much differently, Scorpio. Knight of Wands on top. So let me break this down for you. Especially if you've been feeling like you were stuck on pause. And we're kind of twisted about it, like, why am I on pause? Why am I not moving forward like I thought I was supposed to be moving forward, right? It's almost like you had this pop of energy, right? That Knight of Wands. It's almost like you had a pop of energy and then ended up on pause. And you were like, how did I end up paused? You know? And it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Where the silence all of a sudden is broken by the build, right? Like that, what is that term I'm looking for? That'll bug me. It's like that extended pause, right? That extended silence that just kind of grabs everybody's attention because it's like awkwardly quiet, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, and it's like blaring. And I think it's really beneficial. I think it's definitely inspiring you to receive. I think it's definitely inspiring you into sovereignty, inspiring you into fulfillment, inspiring you into the greatest energy you maybe have ever felt in your life, to be completely fair. If I keep looking and digging on the bottom of this deck, because after the Empress, right, because we had the Two of Wands with the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Empress. Under that is the Hanged Man and the King of Swords, the Three of Cups. And then we get the Nine of Coins, the Ten of Cups, the Sun, the Nine of Cups, the Emperor, the Two of Cups. And it's just like, it keeps going, you know? So I feel like if there was some kind of momentum and then all of a sudden there's this stark silence, and you're like, where's the continuation? I think it's going to literally boom on for you. Like it's everything you ever wanted. Especially if you feel like you've been in that silence for a while, right? Like that extended silence that's too long. It's going to boom on. Because initially, when we start the month, we have the Page of Wands in reverse with the Three of Wands. And to be fair, that might be you short-circuiting and losing your fucking temper. Okay? That really might be short-circuiting and losing your fucking temper and just thinking about, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? Because that kind of explosion was the first step. It was the first step that was needed to move you forward. But it's like, now that you did it, what do you do? And you have to break some kind of contract, soul contract, or literal contract that you have with someone. And that is the Three of Coins with the Two of Swords. Right? That stagnation of the rock in a hard place with the Two of Swords and needing to cut the contract out, whatever, or whoever that is, to get out of it. I think you're seeing someone's or a situation's trash energy for what it is, because it's not just people with trash energy. Sometimes there's groups of people who have an intention for something or do some kind of business, and you realize that the business is not what you thought it was, and it's trash energy. You're like, I don't want to be a part of this group anymore, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like blowing your top and then realizing you need to just let a certain energy go, whether the energy is a person or a situation, because it's just trash. Almost like you become allergic to it. You know what I mean? Like you can't be around it without it irritating you. Like you've blown up at it and it's still there. Like the allergen is still there. And I think once you cut it off, that's around the eclipse, right? In the middle of the month, the solar eclipse. That's the first one. In the third week, we get the Six of Wands clarified by the Justice card. So it's a major victory and a major balancing of the self, right? And I think that feels really good to win some kind of justice or choose some kind of justice for yourself. To be fair, you might be really pissed off at yourself. You could be blowing up at yourself for being a certain way and have had enough of yourself and a certain behavior or mindset that you've had. And you're finally cutting cords with this old version of yourself, right? This trash energy that you've been holding and coming into some kind of balance. Definitely. Now, if you realize this and that maybe your own energy, if that is the case, has manifest some really trash shit in your reality and everything is going, right? Everything is going. When we get to the end of the month with the moon and the 5 of Cups, when we deal with that lunar eclipse in Taurus, that's, you know, opposing the sun in your sign. We do get the moon with the 5 of Cups. And because that's a full moon, that's a blood moon, and you can see the little werewolf there at the bottom of the moon card. Kind of, what the fuck is coming out of his mouth? Foaming at the mouth. It's legit foaming at the mouth. And this 5 of Cups, I think you're saying sayonara to karmic energy. I think you're walking across that bridge before it breaks and getting to the other side before you lose it altogether. Whatever opportunity that, you know, is presenting for you. You might also be dealing with the werewolf and other people trying to keep you or prevent you from crossing the bridge before it breaks and you can't cross it anymore. It's like a window, right? Especially because it's the last lunar eclipse opposing your sign, right? The last lunar eclipse opposing your sign. I feel like you have the werewolf and someone else, very childish, because even this werewolf is wearing a fucking diaper, you know, like very childish energy. And it's like they're trying to fight you as you're falling off. As you're crossing. There might even be some kind of marriage on the other side of this bridge. Whether the marriage is literal or metaphorical, because I'm just being drawn to the fact that this skeleton with the little love hat on has like this kind of fishnet veil, like a wedding veil. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but it's got a wedding, like she's got like a wedding veil around her and she's holding the 2 of Cups while the karmic energy floats away, like the bridge is about to break and it's like looking up like you better hurry up and get across that bridge. I think you make it. I think you make it across the bridge. I think you get out of whatever pickle you would have otherwise ended up in. So I'm curious to see how your November and your December pan out, because this, I feel like, is the momentum, the break, and then the very beginning of the boom, right? Because this is kind of telling the story of how like you popped off, right? There's some kind of momentum and then a pause, and then all of a sudden you cross the bridge and get to the other side, and it's just like you escape some kind of wounding, right, that comes with the moon card, some kind of disillusionment that you would have been living had you stayed on the wrong side of the bridge, so to speak. You know, had that bridge collapsed, you would have been stuck in some kind of, you know, looped timeline that's just kind of repetitive and redundant, and you don't know how you know, looking back, you know, in time, right, 20 years from now, you'll be like, how did I get stuck in this? You know what I mean? Like, how did I end up here? And it's because, you know, you would have missed the bridge across. But I think that you're making it. I think that you're making it through. I don't think it comes without its werewolves. You know what I mean? I don't think you're not going to encounter that trying to escape across the bridge, the werewolf and people coming out, especially with that full moon. I mean, it's a blood moon, but people might literally be out for blood. You know what I mean? Just be really fucking angry that you're not the same. or that you're not going to live in some cycle with them. You know what I mean? That you're moving forward with your life and leaving them behind, especially if they're wildly immature, you know? So Scorpio, I have faith that that will help you. I mean, we'll get into some more messages for you when we do your bonus reading for having most views. So definitely, you know, stick around the channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the notification for it. Because I'll be pulling either what is going to end up being like an extended for that energy or a completely different message for your Scorpionic energy. Maybe we'll get some insight into what's coming, right? Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. We'll see what spirit guides me for your other reading. Alrighty. So moving forward, we're doing Saggy. Saggy did not get their ass whooped by Gemini and Pisces this month. They might for November. But they definitely got most likes and most comments from August, which determined the bonus readings for October. So cheers, Sag. Cheers. You guys will have a extra special bonus reading coming to you for October, since you got both most likes and most comments. Let's see. Scorpio definitely snuck most views from you. Not by much, but they did. So let's see. If you want to upset Gemini for November, you can just go back and blow up your September readings. I'm not saying you should upset a Gemini, but you can. All right. What is going on for Saggy Spirit? My Sag gang, my Sagittarius. What is going on for my Sag gang? My sages for October. Saggy energy, the house in which Sagittarius rules for you. What is going on with Sagittarius for October? What is going on? Queen of Wands in reverse. The Strength card. The Knight of Swords and the Star. Justice card on the Queen of Wands. All right. Clarify these for me, please. Queen of Cups on Strength. Ooh, Saggy, I think you're calling somebody out. I think you're calling somebody out. Three of Swords is on the bottom and the Sun is on top because they fucking hurt your feelings. Sag. The bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, and the Three of Cups under that with the Nine of Coins and the Death card. Transformation. Wow. Okay. And it definitely concerns a sacred soulmate. The Eight of Swords was continuing under that with the Six of Cups. All right. So Sag. I feel like you're shining in your light this month with the Sun. Okay, being on the top of your deck. And with the Three of Swords on the bottom. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands. That is definitely turning pain into power. Okay. that is definitely turning some pain into power for October. Oh, Kristen, I'll pray for you and your friends. For real. Okay. So yeah, Sag. I think someone hurt you and they fucked up when they did that. Because you're the alchemist, right? Sagittarius is the sage. They are wisdom, right? They are this mutable fire. They rule the house of travel because they're constantly moving and elevating to different levels, different planes, different playing fields. I feel like someone fucked up. I feel like someone fucked up and hurt your feelings, and you pop off and realize that something is not what you desire, right? The Queen of Wands is the heart's desire in reverse. You realize something is not what you want, and instantly justice starts to come in, right? With the Justice card clarifying that Queen of Wands in the reverse. It's almost like you realize with clean ears what something is. And you're just kind of like, wow, you know, like this immediate fury paired with the recognition that something is not what you want anymore. And this is just, right? This is just for whatever reason, you're realizing something is not what you thought it was or not what you wanted. Really clear. I think it probably sparks some kind of agitation, frustration, or anger in you, okay, at the beginning of the month. And I think moving forward, you have to be really strong putting yourself on a pedestal and making yourself the priority, right? Making yourself important, right? More important than anything else, putting your love of self first with the Strength card and the Queen of Cups here. You might be stronger than you give yourself credit for when you're in that self-love energy, right? Reflecting on your old wounded self that tries to keep you stuck and not being fazed by it so much as just being in awareness of it, right? Being really well aware of how maybe you got yourself into that situation on the second week of the month. I honestly feel like you're prioritizing your pride. Like you take a lot of pride in whatever you do or whoever or whatever you invest in. Like whatever you do it exceptionally well. You make it a point to do that. You live, in a sense, by the golden rule. Like you treat people the way you would want to be treated. But you also treat people how they treat you because it's a sign of how they want to be treated, right? They treat you the way they want to be treated. And if they treat you well, like the golden rule, then you do the same. But if someone treats you like shit, you know, and you start to realize that they're treating you like shit, you're like, fine, touche then, I'm going to treat you like shit. Like, that's the way you want to be treated? Fine. You know, that's not who I want to be. But if that's who you need me to be and want me to be, then so be it, right? Sagittarius is kind of like a genie in that regard. It's like your wish is my command. And this is what you wish. All right. But it's the way of wisdom, right? It's a way of wisdom. And so I feel like you're putting your pride on the pedestal and showing your strength and cutting out the thief. I think the Knight of Swords with the Seven of Swords clarifying after the eclipse, after the solar eclipse, right? We get this Knight of Swords with the Seven of Swords. I think you send the thief running. I think you're chasing after him, right? That Knight of Swords is chasing after that thief like you thought you got away with something. You thought you got away with it. You dumb bitch. Sag is like, you dumb bitch. And it's almost like you're loving the chase because you know you're going to catch them. Because you've got your white tiger there, right? You've got this white tiger type cat that you're riding on. And they're on foot. And it's like, they don't even know, like, that white tiger, that Siberian tiger is meant for the fucking snow. Like, it's ready. It's so ready to go. Like, you know, I feel like whatever you're communicating in the third week, I think you're catching the thief. I think you're catching the thief. And I think you got people letting you know where they're going with it. I think you got people protecting certain things like for you so that they can't take everything from you. I think you're cutting someone down. Or exposing lies. And it's incredibly healing. The end of the month, we get the star card with the victory. That's a fucking divine victory right there. Because Sages are warriors of the light. Okay. And that's a victory. That's major healing that got to take place. And that's a big victory right there. I think the divine is just pouring out love energy, water energy, healing energy everywhere. Like whatever situation or people that you're dealing with in this particular month or with yourself, right? Depending on the house of Sag rules for you. I think it's like one of those, let he who is without sin throw the first stone. And Sag said, I'm fucking innocent in this. Legit. I have not sinned in this situation, and literally throws the fucking stone and shatters the glass house, and everything is exposed, you know, for just how fragile it was. You know, it's like, and letting the rain in. I think you're completely humbling somebody. Like, no one is not without sin. You know, like there is one person here who is legit without sin in this situation. And it's me. So I will throw the fucking stone. Like, it's not that hard to be without sin. You know, it's not that hard to remain innocent or pure in light. It's not that hard. I obviously can do it, which means everybody here can do it. And it's almost like leading by example. Like, because someone needs to throw the fucking stone. You can't have everybody standing there like, oh, I guess we're all sinners and I guess we're all fucked up. And so there's no punishment for it because we're all fucked up. Sag is coming in there like, nah, bitch. No. And let it be an example to you. There's going to be someone here who has not sinned and I will throw the fucking stone. And if I'm the only person who's got to throw a stone, I'm going to throw the biggest one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Sag is not letting whatever is false to the highest self go unpunished. Sag is coming in like a warrior of the light in September or October, and it's definitely pain, right? Pain that is powering it. That Three of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands, right? That sovereignty, claiming sovereignty, saying, no, I am not like you. No, I am not like the rest. You know what I mean? Like, no, this is where my energy is. I'm innocent here. I didn't do anything wrong. And really throwing a stone, you know, like really putting whoever the energy thief is in their place, because they're definitely on the run or trying to avoid it or trying to get out of it, right? Whoever this masked person is, they're wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask. And Saggy said, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. I see you. I see what you're doing. They're an energy thief. They're a fucking energy thief. Probably just feeding off the life force of someone else, feeding off the anxiety of someone else. The insecurity, the doubt, the worry, just feeding off of it. And you're like, no. Lots of healing comes through. And I think you have support, because I'm looking at this Six of Wands with the Star card. The Six of Wands, these other two hands coming in the back are like throwing in the extra two wands. You know, they're off scene, but you can see them putting the wands in there. So it's like you're riding with your four wands, right? That Four of Wands energy, where you see the happily ever after energy, you see it, and others are supporting you in the victory. Like, fuck yeah. It's almost like people are grateful, you know what I mean? Like, other people watching it are really grateful because they weren't sitting in a position to punish the thief, because they are also guilty of it in some which way, shape, or form. That they don't feel it's their right or their place to punish whoever the thief is, the head thief, right? The head energy vampire. They don't feel it's their place. But because Sag is literally without sin in the situation, whatever specific situation this is, and Sag cast that stone to punish whoever the head vampire is, it kind of like frees everybody else. Like, you know how, if, speaking of vampires, how if you kill the head vampire that turned everybody else, all the other people are no longer turned, right? Because you killed the one that created them. It's kind of like that. It's like other people were committing sins because they had to protect themselves from being stolen from by this thieving energy. And Sag wouldn't stand for it. Sag wouldn't sacrifice their integrity. Like, no, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to cheat, and I'm not going to steal, and I'm not going to pretend and whatever, because you're doing that. I'm going to be exactly who the fuck I am, and I'm going to put you in your place for doing that and making everybody else feel like they had to do that. Like, fuck you. Took out the head vampire, right? Good for you, Sag. For October. Really, someone fucking pissed off a Sag this month, and Sag righted that energy. Sag came in as justice. Sag came in as justice. God damn. Okay. Capricorn. I'm gonna grab my water bottle real quick. I've been sitting here yapping for almost 3 hours. I need to wet the whistle. Oh. So we're gonna get into Capricorn. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Capricorn. All right, Cappy. Spirit, please, what is going on? What is going on for Capricorn? Capricorn energies in the house in which Capricorn rules for you for this month of October. What's going on with Cappy? What's going on? Capricorn still dealing with Pluto. Although I believe Pluto goes direct this month. All right, we've got the Knight of Wands with the Ace of Coins, the King of Swords, and the Two of Coin. Okay, give me some clarities, please. Four of Wands on the Knight of Wands. That is some knight in shining armor energy. Very optimistic. I think you're elevating someone. Ace of Coins is clarified by the Nine of Coins for a total of 10 coins. Hanged Man is clarifying the King of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is clarifying the Two of Coins. So we have Judgment on the bottom and the Moon on top. That's deep water. That's deep water. I'm hearing that song by Mel C from the Spice Girls, I Turn to You. I turn to you like a flower leaning towards the sun. I turn to you 'cause you're the only one that can turn me around when I'm upside down. I turn to you. Cap? Take it how it resonates because it can be flipped, but I think someone is saving you from yourself. Or you're saving someone from themselves. It's like someone falling down the rabbit hole, you know, or about to fall down the rabbit hole, and you catch them, you know, and keep them from falling down that hole, reminding them that there's more to life than falling down the rabbit hole and getting lost in Wonderland, you know, like there's more to life than feeling pointless or purposeless or like there's nothing to live for. It's like bringing the light back out in someone that was dying, you know, like one candle lights another candle and loses nothing. It's like someone's candle was going out and you relit the wick with your own light, like your light relit the wick. And now they're light again, you know? That's kind of the way I'm feeling this energy. You're giving to someone who's impoverished. Their energy is impoverished. They were in this empty, broke kind of space, right? If you think about people having an energy bank, right? Love to give, knowledge or wisdom to give, right? Experience, money to give, like all of our different energetic currencies, things that we give, our time, right? Our physical presence, our body. I think someone had kind of broke the bank on their energy and went out, it's kind of like their light went out. And I think that you gave enough to them that they appreciated it because they were so broke. You know what I mean? It's like someone was so broken, probably more broken than you realize. More energetically broke than you realize. And you gave them enough money or enough energy that they could invest it in themselves, and they take that energy and invest it in themselves, and they move forward. And it's scary for them, but they do it. And then all of a sudden it's like the fire's been lit. And they're not being stolen from anymore. They're not investing in bullshit anymore. They're not leaking energy out their pocket kind of thing. At the beginning of the month, we get that Knight of Wands with the Four of Wands, which is why I was hearing that Mel C song. It's what's kind of sparked it. And it's you being the Knight of Wands, inspiring someone else with your own inner stable energy, right? Your own inner stability within the self, and painting a beautiful vision for them to believe in. And you're actively working on it, right? With the Ace of Coins and the Nine of Coins. Even if you're the only one that's really making it happen right now, because you're the only one that has a full bank to do it, right? Energy bank. You're the only one that has a full energy bank to do it. I think you're doing it though. And I think what you're growing is going to end up very 10 of Coins, like dream stable. It's going to end up super stable. I think you're seeing things from a higher perspective. I think you're seeing things from a different perspective, and are coming in with this energy that's thinking before you're speaking. I think that if you've just outright said certain things in the past, that, you end up having to bite your tongue, that maybe your words hung you up before. And so now, instead of saying empty words, I think you're legit taking off with it. I think you've made a certain promise to yourself or inside your own head to do things differently this time. And so you're moving forward in a different way. It's like a weird Popeye's strength kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like someone was feeling rather wimpy or rather scrawny with their energy, and then all of a sudden someone gave them a can of spinach, and then they're like, like Popeye, like, super strength. Like, I think that whether it's someone doing it for you or you doing it for someone else, I feel like whatever is happening, someone is speaking certain promises, following through on those promises, making sure to take care and steps towards the manifestation of that, and letting themselves be honest with the reality of things, and speaking about the reality of things and what it is that they want in order to make the real the ideal, right? They want to make the reality what is essentially ideally in their mind. Like someone has a certain plan, like a very specific goal, a very specific promise that they 100% intend on making good on, and they're going to follow through. So Cap, if you needed that reassurance in October, if someone is meaning what they're saying, they definitely mean what they are saying, and they're not even going to let your own self-doubt, or you're not going to let their self-doubt deter you from what you're manifesting. You're going full steam ahead with it. Like, you're staying sovereign in what it is, in the direction that you're going, right? The foundation that you're creating, you're making sure that nobody else's energy is slipping it up. You're moving forward, and it's going to be wildly successful for you in the month of October. Like, full steam ahead. Like, you're legit in this energy that someone else can very safely and securely lean on when they're too weak to kind of stand in their own energy. Like, you're the light that's lighting another candle, and you're losing nothing for doing it. Like, that's October for Capricorn. Capricorn is fucking determined. If Capricorn wants happily ever after, then that's what Capricorn's gonna fucking get. And somebody else, you know, or like I said, or it's vice versa, take it how it resonates, or someone else is like, thank God. Like, thank God you have this strength and this kind of drive and momentum, because I'm rebuilding my energy, right? I have to come back from what was completely depleted, you know, and Capricorn's coming through with a full tank. Like, I got this. It's all right. You don't need gas money right now. Just get yourself something to eat, right? Before we hit the road, type thing, you know, and Cap's like, I got a full tank of gas. Let's go. And you're letting them ride shotgun on this journey that you're taking, you know, and they're like, I feel like someone is super grateful to come along for the ride, because they really don't have anything to give, and yet they're getting to experience this beautiful vision that you're bringing into the manifestation. So, you know, Cap is definitely in that ride or die energy, and I feel like whoever they're taking along for the ride is like it's like feeling like they've had a breath of fresh air for the first time in so long, because they've been trapped inside their own mansion type thing. You know, if you ever heard NF's Mansion, right? His song Mansion. Given he's got a whole album called Mansion, but I feel like it's someone who's been trapped inside their mansion and has not had a breath of fresh air in forever. And Cap just kind of busted down the door and said, "Let's go, let's go. We're breaking out of this bitch." So Capricorn is definitely in that knight in shining armor energy. I bet it is, Kristen. For sure. For sure. Yeah, Cap's got a full tank of gas and they're ready to go. Alrighty. Aqua. Let's get into Aquarius's energy. What is going on? Spirit, please, for Aqua. Aquarian energy in the house in which Aqua rules for you. What is going on? Now, there's nothing actually present in Aquarius outside of regular monthly lunar cycles. So, Aqua, this is straight up your own placements, whatever they are, right? Whatever house it rules. This is what's going on energetically with your Aquarian energy. Okay. Let's see what's going on for Aqua in the month of October. Eight of Wands in reverse. What else? King of Wands in reverse and the Page of Cups in reverse. My deck is right side up. My deck is right side up. I keep all my cards upright. So if they fly out in reverse, I keep them that way and read them that way. What else is going on with Aqua? What card was that? That was the King of Coins flipping out, flashing itself, and going back in. What is going on with Aqua? You may have an inner King of Coin energy trying to get out and you're blocking it. Right? You keep shoving it back in. What else is going on with Aqua? We got the Lovers card. We've got the Queen of Coins reversed. We've got the Nine of Cups reversed. The Page of Swords is on that Page of Cups reversed. And we've got the Devil on the Lovers. All right, Aqua. Okay. We got the Six of Coins on bottom and the Two of Wands on top. Okay. Aqua, you might have to let yourself receive and possibly get help from family right now in order to get what you really want, which is probably not what you want to hear. But if you look at the Six of Coins on the bottom, and like I said, the Empress is under that. Okay, because right now you're stuck on pause and you're all kinds of twisted with the Two of Wands on top. And that Six of Coins shows an elderly or older heart space, right? Feminine energy that's giving to the impoverished, stinked energy, right? Because literally the person sitting on the ground is stinky. They're sitting in a what looks like a puddle. And they need to receive, they need help, and probably from someone older. Okay. So I know it's not what you want to hear, but there's definitely an old soul at the very least, if not family, like actual like grandparents or something, or just older parents willing to help you. It's an old soul, because right now your energy might be really stinky, to be fair. Or you might be in a very energetically stinky situation. Literally all twisted. That's the overall top and bottom. So getting into the weeks, as we go through the weeks, we have the Eight of Wands reversed, clarified by the Queen of Coins reversed. So I think that the reality is not what you want, and you're not listening to Spirit's pings trying to get you out of it, right? Because the Eight of Wands is sometimes spiritual communication, right? The divine giving us synchronicities, signs, messages to get us out of certain situations, and you might be hardcore resisting what your soul, right, your heart, feminine energy with the Queen really wants to manifest, right? The Suit of Coins. I think you're ignoring Spirit. You may also be in denial about having to work or make more money, or investing in certain things to get what you want, and or you're in denial about what you're meant to receive from your experience. Maybe you're settling for some really stinky experience. You might even have someone doing, dark magic, like on your quote unquote behalf, but it's not on your behalf. Like they might tell you they're doing light magic, they're doing light work for you. And really it's just, it's doing the opposite. It's like trying to get yourself out of something with magic. Like an example would be paying someone to cast a spell or cast some kind of intention or magic to help you make money or help you whatever. And then they're like, yep, I did it, no problem. Maybe you even paid them for it, right? In some form of energy, like maybe you're just giving them a lot of your time or a lot of your mental energy, right? Or maybe your emotions are tied into this person. And they're just like, yeah, I did it for you. Everything's going to be better. And then it's not working. The spell's not working. The magic's not working. And you're like, I don't understand. I'm not coming into money. Nothing's changing. Things are getting worse. Maybe something cost me even more money, or there was another expense or some kind of loss. You're like, this is bullshit. It's not working. And it's like lowering your vibration, like, and it's doing the opposite of what you intended it to. And it's because you're casting, from a place of lack to begin with. And so the lack is becoming more. Right? It's not knowing what the fuck you're doing if you're casting spells, okay? Not that everybody is. But for those of you that resonates to, like, stop trying to cast magic to get yourself out of what you're supposed to do intuitively, what Spirit is guiding you to do. Like, if you want more fucking money, you're not about to cast a spell so you can win on a scratch off. What you're doing is needing to go get a fucking job. Or you need to go get a job that pays you more money. Or a job that allows you more hours so that you can get overtime. Like, you're not just going to cast a spell and hit the lottery and all my problems are gone. Spirit's like, no, you have shit to do, yo. Like, stop being irresponsible and putting all your energetic focus in this person or this direction or this intention, and just do what the fuck you need to do. Right? I mean, Aquarius is getting hard squares from Taurus, hard squares from the things going on in Taurus with Jupiter and Uranus. And it's got some Leo opposition right now. It's got Lilith popping in and out of there. It's got Venus and Juno in there at the beginning of the month. Like, you are not going to magically manifest your way out of shit. There is no spell that anybody can cast that is going to turn your lack into abundance. Only your own energy is going to do that. Which means you need to get your head out of your ass, so to speak, and really start listening to the divine within you that is saying you really do need to get a job, though. You know, like, metaphorically speaking, like, you really do need to be the answer to your problem, right? You need to be the solution. If your energy is the problem, then your energy also needs to be the solution. You can't be doing love spells and trying to draw in a soulmate and saying, well, it's not working. Love's not coming in. I don't know what to do. And you're panicking now because you think you're meant to be alone because a love spell's not working. Like, maybe you need to work on loving yourself and stop thinking you're unlovable, that you would cast some kind of magical spell to try and lure some poor soul into your sorry energy. Sorry, did I mention I care more about your healings than your feelings? Let's get real, Aqua. Because this kind of energy, you're backwards. More cards are reversed than they are upright. You're backwards. You're trying to shortcut things. Universe does not do shortcuts. Cross watcher, I could be talking to you. Like, take it how it resonates. Okay? You or someone you're dealing with. But to be fair, if you're dealing with them in your reality, the chances are you're mirroring them in some which way, shape, or form. Got the King of Wands with the Nine of Cups in the reverse. The King of Wands is a doer. It is the high masculine energy, the willpower, the drive, right? And fucking reverse here with the Nine of Cups in reverse. You're not doing anything to get your wish fulfillment. You're not doing anything. The King of Wands is not doing anything. He's a master manifester. Willpower, drive, and determination through the fucking roof. Nothing's going to get in the King of Wands' way from creating what he wants to create. Nothing and no one. And that energy's in reverse. That's why your Nine of Cups, your wish, is in reverse. Well, I just want my wish to come true. Well, Spirit just wants you to make it happen. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? The universe is not out there granting wishes. The universe, spirit, God, source, creator energy is not out there somewhere listening to you cry and granting your wish while you do nothing. God, source, universe, creator energy is within yourself, and you are literally praying to yourself to get out of whatever funk you're in to make it fucking happen. You are literally praying to yourself. You are wishing to yourself. I wish I would just get up and make it fucking happen. I wish I would. It's not out there. It's in here. Your answer is not out there. It's in here. Your choices. Your choices. Page of Cups reverse with the Page of Swords. Somebody is showing you no fucking mercy. No mercy. They don't want to hear your cry me a river shit. That might be you watching this message halfway through the fucking month and realizing that I wasn't showing you any fucking mercy because there is none to be had. We're not sitting here poo-pooing you. You ain't a fucking child. You're a grown-ass adult. You're watching this channel. I know you're a grown-ass adult because I have adult-only settings on my channel. You're at least 21 years old. Why isn't life being handed to me the way that I want? Because you're a grown-ass adult. And you're responsible for yourself and your life and your energy and what the fuck you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on bullshit, that is what you're going to get. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, it's okay, the wish will come true eventually. And it can. I can sit here and tell you that, but I can't tell you it's going to come true someday if I don't tell you also that you need to get out of your own fucking blockade. The only person blocking your manifestation and your wish is you right now, Aqua. It's you. The problem is legit you. I'm sorry, not sorry. You are in your own way right now. The Lovers with the Devil, like you're the toxic person. And you're attracting toxic partners. When you're in this low energy like that, you're literally going to bring in an energetic vampire that attaches to you. This is how we get negative energy attachments. You might have a toxic romantic interest just feeding off of your negative energy, just feeding off of you. And you're putting all this faith in them, all this power in them, giving them the reins, right? Because you don't know what to do. You have a toxic ass partner. If you're in a relationship, you need to fucking leave this person. Well, what? Like, let's just say for an example, maybe you're married to a person who is cheating on you. They're not nice to you anymore. They're not complimenting you and telling you're beautiful anymore. Maybe they're completely distracted and they don't give a fuck. And you're just literally there being the maid, being the whatever, the cook, and they don't give a fuck about you and they're toxic. And you're like, I hope my marriage gets better. I hope we can save it. I want my marriage to be better, Spirit. Make my marriage healthy. It's like, okay, well, if you want a healthy marriage, you need to leave the devil then. You can't have a healthy marriage to the devil, Aqua. You know, as an example. Well, I really want to make more money at my job, you know, like I hope that my job gets better. I hope the hours come in, you know, I hope that my boss is nicer to me. I hope one day it all changes, but the boss is not changing. The pay is not changing. The hours are not changing. Maybe you get a pay cut. And it's like, if you want to make more money and have a better job with a nicer boss, then go find a new job with better hours and a better boss. Stop praying something's going to get better when it's the fucking devil and the devil don't get better. The devil don't get better. This is you marrying your own inability to invest your energy where it needs to be invested. Because Capricorn energy, which the devil rules, is investment. And the Lovers is Gemini. It's face value, face reality, facts. And you're not seeing the reality for what it is and how you're investing your energy in toxic. You are not seeing toxic for what it is. Your partner, whatever you are partnered up with, whether it is love, business, or otherwise, is fucking toxic. And you could easily get those chains off your head and get out, and you're not fucking doing it. If it's your problem, you fix it. If it bothers you, you solve it. Take the trash out. Take the trash out. Your energy that is trash and toxic needs to go. No one's going to save you but you, Aqua. There ain't nothing out there that's going to bring you some miracle. You're the miracle. You are the miracle. Talk to people, get in touch with people who legit love you, who you know love you, that would never steer you wrong, that would rather you hate them for telling you the truth than lie to you to try and appease your belief that you don't have to change. Like if you're in a toxic relationship dynamic, the friend telling you it's okay, just give them time, is probably the one your partner's cheating on you with. Like, why would your friend who really loves you in soul tell you to fucking stay in a toxic dynamic? They don't love you if they're telling you to stick with toxic. Go to the person who loves you enough to tell you the truth, even if that means you might hate them for it, because that person loves you. If they would tell you the truth, despite the fact that you might cut them off and not want to talk to them anymore, that you would block them or something because they didn't agree with your stuck perspective, you were hoping that they would tell you that it'll get better and you could work it out, and instead they told you should probably leave, you deserve better, and you didn't fucking like that answer. Like, I'm sorry, you might need to listen to that friend or that person, whoever they are in your life, because they ain't fucking lying to you. They know that's not the answer you want to hear, and yet they're saying it anyway. Because they fucking love you too much to lie to you. All right. Sorry, Aqua, I love you. Someone had to do it. someone had to read your cards and tell you the fuck is actually going on here. All right. Pisces. Pisces. Woosah. Let my Saggy come back down from Aqua. Woosah. All right. Pisces. Is that your gap side talks to your Aqua side? Yup. Good. You might be talking to someone else that way, to be completely fucking fair. You might be talking to someone that way, Aqua. If I'm not yelling at you, then this is exactly the energy you have yelling at someone else. All right, for real. For real. Might definitely be that way. Let's read timestamp Pisces. 3/27/07. Okay. True facts. Alrighty. Pisces, Piscean energy in the house of which Pisces rules for you. What is going on with my fishes? What is going on with the fishes? Spirit, please. Pisces, Piscean energy in the house that Pisces rules for you. We got Saturn and Neptune going on in your sign, right? Saturn's going direct this month. To be fair, I don't know about Neptune. I'd have to double check on Neptune. The fuck is that energy? What else is going on, Spirit? Clarities, please. Okay, 3 of Cups is on the bottom and the 5 of Cups is on top. All right, Pisces. Something's not working out the way you thought it would. Because that Three of Cups energy is karmic, especially because it's floating down the fucking river. There are Five of Swords, Three of Swords under that. This is what the bottom and top of your deck look like. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups on top and a Three of Cups with the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords. You might be dealing with an alien, you know, looking at this Five of Cups swords. And I don't say that literally. I mean like someone who is functioning as some kind of AI, you know what I mean? Like they're an NPC player. They're not an actual player in the game. They're an NPC. You know, if we're talking Dungeons and Dragons type lingo, like this is an NPC player. They are not long-term in the campaign. They are not long-term in the story. They are just a certain player that comes in at a specific time that, you know, you have some kind of side quest with, but they are not on your team. They were never going to stay on your team. They're foreign to your story. They're not meant to be a main character. So you've got a karmic energy here who you may have been leaking money to with no avail. Okay. You may be leaking money to this person, situation, with no avail, right? No return on the investment. I think you're moving away from them for sure, or at least you're considering it, and or you're watching them drift away downriver. You know what I mean? Like you're watching them go. You might be coming in like the soulmate who's ready to marry and commit, and they might just be like, I'm out. And you're like, what? Because we get the Page of Coins with the Ace of Swords first week. So you might have offered something. You might have offered something, but it was rejected. There was some kind of rejection. The Page of Coins is some kind of opportunity, seed plant, something, and someone's rejecting it. And not only are they rejecting it, they're coming through with integrity. It's not in alignment with them. It's not in alignment with them. And I feel like you instantly start melting and don't know what to say. And may be biting your tongue. Because this is how you feel. Second week. Pile of mush. Can't hold your head up. Having an opportunity to love yourself and not necessarily speaking up. Like you're melting, trying to melt to keep the Three of Cups. But what happens is I think that melting is what creates the river. Right? Because we've got the Three of Cups here. And then we've got the Four of Cups, or the Five of Cups that has the Three of Cups floating down river. And this Four of Cups is in the middle, and it's melting, right? It's melting. The face of this creature person is melting and trying to fill the cups. But I think the melting is what creates the river that sets it off. Like you're trying to hold on to someone who was never meant to stay. And the more you try and hold on, the more it disappears. Like whatever approach you have to this person, it is the wrong approach, or whatever situation, right? It is the wrong approach. Something did not like what was offered. And you could flip it, take it in reverse. It doesn't matter how you resonate with the message. Just take it as it resonates for you. A great example would be someone, if you're doing a good job, but it's not quite enough, they could approach it in two ways. They could tell you that you're doing a really good job, but that we need a little more effort to get to where we need to be, right? Just a little bit more effort, and they can be really kind about it, right? Like, listen, I recognize all the effort you're putting in. I'm really grateful for the effort that you're putting in. But in order to reach this goal, I really need you to muster up a little bit more and try and, get this in so that we can hit what we're after, right? They could be nice about it. Or they could come at you like you're not doing enough. If you continue to not do enough, then you're replaceable, right? And don't think that you won't be replaced. I will replace you. Like, you're expendable. You're not important. You know, what you're doing is shit. And you need to step it up if you want to stick around. Both communications are trying to achieve the same result of getting more output from said person. But one way is very nice and one way is very harsh. One is trying to rule from a place of love and direct from a place of love, and one is ruling with or directing from a place of fear. Right? So one person is making you feel valuable, where the other is kind of pinging on worthiness wounds, abandonment wounds. No, I don't want to be replaceable. I don't want to leave. I'm going to do more. I'm going to work harder. I promise. I feel like someone came at you the wrong way. And it doesn't matter which one is right or wrong for you. Because some people, in order to get more out of them, they really do need the encouragement and the kind words. Because they're not a wounded person. And they don't appreciate wounded communications coming from someone. Like, they would not respond to someone saying, you're replaceable, blah, blah, blah. If you don't step it up, you're out. Like, if you take a person who really needs the positive communication and give them negative communication, they're going to be like, fuck you. I don't even want to fucking be here. Then you don't appreciate my value. I know my worth, and they're going to be out. Where if you give that same approval to someone, that same positive communication to someone who doesn't believe in their value and doesn't believe that they're good enough, and you tell them they're doing a good job, but they need a little bit more, they might start to slack off. Be like, yeah, I am doing a really good job. It's not my fault. I can't do more. I can't do more than what I'm giving. And they might slack off and sabotage. And they really do need the negative communication to get the result, right? They need to be told that they're not good enough. They need to be told that what they're doing makes them expendable so that they push harder. So one way or the other, it's not right for everybody and wrong for everybody in a certain way, shape, or form. We're talking about a specific individual. Wounded individuals need negative communication to make progress. But healed or positively aligned individuals do not respond well to negative communication. They need that positive energy, that positive reinforcement to keep shining. They won't tolerate the other. So whoever was given whatever communication, this is what it is, it was not received well. It was not received well. They received the offer or the communication about the reality that was not in alignment with them, right? The negative person got the positive reinforcement and is now slacking, or the positive person got the negative reinforcement and now it's like, fuck you, I'm out. Peace. Right? It was the opposite. It was not what it should have been. And so now there's this melting down and this fear of having to say what you want to say because you realize the way that it was said prior was wrong. And now you don't know what to say because you don't know how to approach said person. So you're kind of melting down and hoping that they stick. You might even continue to double down on that communication to try and pull the same result, but you're doubling down on misaligned energy with them. It's not clicking. You're pushing them further away. It's like seeing how the one person that was doing a really good job and just got negative feedback, and that's bullshit, giving them more negative feedback. Like, yo, like, I know you needed some time for yourself, but you taking that time for yourself put us even further behind. Like, I can't believe of all times you did that. And it's just like, yo, I'm dealing with the fact that you just talked to me in a way that I didn't deserve. And now you're doubling down on that and telling me that I'm an asshole for taking energetic space from you. What? It pushes them away faster. It pushes them away faster. No different than someone who was doing a not so great job or was doing a good job and now they're not. You continue to give them positive feedback. Like, I know it's hard. You're doing great. And they were slacking off. And they're continuing to slack off. And now you're reinforcing that their slack is good behavior, but they don't appreciate being told that what they're doing is good enough when they don't believe they're good enough. They know it's not. They know it's not. And so telling them they're doing a great job is just pushing them further into slack. Because you're trying to get them motivated to do better, and they're not. They don't believe that they're better. You're not confirming or validating their own self-beliefs. It's not working. So we get the Death card with the Three of Wands in the third week. After the eclipse, halfway through the month, it's dead. Whatever someone is touching is turning to shit. Whoever is trying to force these communications in the wrong alignment, it's turning to shit. Everything they're touching is dying. Every time they try and do it, and it's blowing their mind. They don't understand why everything they're trying to touch is literally turning to shit on them. They don't understand because it worked with everybody else. It didn't work with them, though. They don't understand why they melted and poured and broke down for whatever this is, and it just left. Just left, mentally checked out one way or the other. Because either they literally deuces checked out, or they mentally checked out and they're not doing what they should be doing. What they could be doing. They're not holding up their energetic end of things. They're sabotaging themselves. Either way, the energy checked out. The light, either way, checked out. And it's because whoever was doing it was misaligned to begin with. They themselves were misaligned. Pisces, it could be you or someone else. But if someone is misaligning and chasing the light away in someone, chasing the hard work, chasing the good enough away in someone, it's because they don't actually feel they're good enough or worthy of better. The miscommunication is coming from a misalignment within the self, period. And that's why regardless of who you're dealing with that's checking out, it's because you've already internally checked out. You don't believe you're worthy of better. You don't believe you're worthy of the best, which is why you pushed away the best person and you pushed the best away in someone else and got their shit for telling them they were doing great. You don't believe you're worthy of the best. Queen of Cups in reverse with the Knight of Wands is on the last week of the month. And to be fair, to me, this looks like a wrong turn. Because the Queen of Cups is all in, ride or die, put people on a pedestal, and that's in reverse with the Knight of Wands, and that's reckless. That's reckless. I think that is someone not getting what they wanted. Thinking that everything they touch turns to shit. And then just not giving a fuck and being reckless. Which is ultimately why you end up in that Five of Cups energy. Where I feel like the joy that the Three of Cups sometimes represents is just floating away. And I think it's karmic to begin with. I think, like I said, they were an NPC. I think they're going to fight you the whole way with that Five of Swords and the Three of Swords on bottom. The more you try and fight that person to pull whatever it is you're trying to get out of them out, the more you fight them instead of flow with them. Whatever energy they're in, you're meant to flow with them, not fight them. Right? If they're in shadow energy, then flow with their shadow and give them shadow so that they can continue to shine. If that makes any fucking sense. And if they're in their light, then flow with their light so that they can continue to shine. but don't fight them. Don't fight light with shadow or shadow with light. It's going to nullify itself out. You're going to get nowhere. I think you're realizing that you're inside some major third-party situation. And maybe you're being very much an NPC in someone else's world and they're the main character. You know, because either you're pushing out the NPC who's in their shadow and you're the main character and you don't realize it and you're pushing out a shadow NPC, or you are an NPC dealing with a main character who is shining in their light and you're trying to be some star and you're not. You're an NPC in their world. They're the main character. And you're trying to take away their shine. And they said, fuck you, I'm the goddamn main character. You're just a stupid NPC. And they're looking at you like you're stupid because you're feeding them shadow when they're bright light. I think you have to flow with people at the energy that they are in, as opposed to trying to force people to match your energy, especially if you are in low vibration in your shadow. You can't love somebody into bettering themselves if they're in shadow and don't want to better themselves, and they're reaping the benefits of your kindness and taking it for a weakness. And you most certainly can't do that to someone else. You can't take someone's kindness for weakness and think that you being in your shadow is going to fly. It's not. And I think that's the big lesson for Piscean energy in October. I think there's an irreversible fuck up. Like once the fuck up starts to happen and that ball starts rolling, especially if someone doubles down on it, that is an irreversible fuck up. Yeah, it's an irreversible fuck up. All right. So I love you all. I greatly appreciate everybody who's left comments in the live chat. I really appreciate everybody who leaves comments after, the live and, lets me know what sign needs bonus readings for December. And I will make sure that the Ophiuchus is up at some time. If not today, then later this week. And same goes for the bonus readings for Sagittarius and Scorpio. All right. I love you all. Until next time. Miss the Magic Rising out.